new?
Oh, I've just been grinding on those NFTs, staying in them discords, because that's where all the knowledge is or the info. So like you get into all of them and like you kind of see where the alpha chats are and like what people are kind of looking at, and then just like just they all kind of just line up one after another. So it's rather than finding them just FOMOing into a rug pull, like you kind of just have like it is a leg up in some sense, right? Kind of like reduces risk with with being in that ecosystem and seeing people communicate, like small, I don't want to call it like tribes because it ain't tribes, but like communities, right? And like as you get involved with these communities is it's a growing experience, and you learn about more projects, you learn more about what inspires them, and then like what they're trying to accomplish, because each NFT project is different. Some of them are just there for the art, and then others are there for staking or play to earn scenario. So it's just really like kind of finding that niche. Like I'm talking like as an investor, trying to
Right.
find something that you'll be interested in, because like I'm not trying to buy an NFT that like doesn't hold my attention, right? So, and then like the ultimate goal is to make return on those NFTs. So whether it's staking or holding it for until you get a 10x on your investment, that's just that's what I'm doing. I've been just down that rabbit hole looking for stuff like that, and anytime I find something good, I try to pass it forward. So I don't know.
Yeah, you guys you guys are really heavy into the NFTs, and I think it's interesting to see how they've evolved from just a piece of artwork where they actually do have use case and they do something. Just like you mentioned, staking, play to earn, they actually are serving more of a purpose than just, buying and collecting the art and just keeping it on the blockchain, which is pretty cool. Um uh so Def, what's up?
Oh, hi. I just joined and I saw that Pele was here and I wanted to say hey to everybody and happy 420. And I hadn't seen Pele in a while because I'm not on Facebook anymore. So I just wanted to say hey. Hey Timeless. Hey Oculus, Captain Morgan, Bobby Digital, Big Rob, Kim. Just speaking. Happy holidays, guys.
Hey.
Yeah. Happy it is a holiday, isn't it? Yeah, happy holidays.
Hey girl, I miss you.
Hi,
And I
Zen. Hi. Hi, everybody. Hi, Miss Oculus. Hi, Timeless. Never met you before. First time, everyone. Hello, everybody. And also, my husband, Isaac, is in the house, too.
Hey y'all, what's going on? How y'all doing?
Yes, we are definitely here. I have questions, but I want to wait. I want to do the right thing and stay in order. So, yeah, please let us know when we can start asking questions. I love you, Zen. I love you, Oculus.
I just wanted to say, Oculus, I am completely set up now. Everything is running on my end, and I just wanted to say hey to everybody. We did get a late start, so if everybody that is here, if you could shoot out sharing that we're live with that plus sign at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, just to let everybody know, because I know that when you throw off a schedule, sometimes people don't know how to follow back up and see that we are still live. And my apologies. This is all on me. The reason why we're starting late. I was just on the panel with the AMA with the short DeFi with Crypto Underground, and I had a lot of questions, even though I had to bring my questions down to a lower because somebody likes to talk too much and was trying to talk around my questions. So I'm glad that we're now starting to fill up the room. So that's a one-time thing. We're going to stay really consistent with our time. That was just something that came up, and I truly wanted to be a part of it.
No problem, Timeless. It was pretty interesting hearing some of the conversations in there. I'm sure that you have a lot to say about that as the evening goes on.
I definitely do. I felt like I was being talked around in circles, and he was trying to just use a lot of words and dance around with it, like Mayweather in the ring. Um, and if I would have had more time to do some rebuttals, and that we weren't competing with our own time, because that's one thing I won't do, is I'm not going to give everything to someplace else and kind of shit on our time. This is our time. This is what we did. It just so happened to get scheduled on the same day. Really wish that could have changed. But and if anybody wants to know the quick sum up, I still think Azure DeFi is trash. Um, he might have some good words and all of that. He might think he's explaining it real good. I still think they're trash. But I also did want to show that our followers, as much as I strongly speak against Ashore DeFi, when given the opportunity to confront them, I wanted to show to our listeners and people of our community that I'm not going to run from that either, because I think that's a conversation that needs to be had. Because while they're doing what they're doing, he might not look at it as them promoting rugged projects, but essentially when you verify them, you give them their gold standard NFT, you are giving them publicity and marketing that they wouldn't have had any other way. So yeah, I'm going to go back and finish listening to the recording after the fact, and I am being granted our own copy of the AMA as well.
Yeah, you should definitely post that for our listeners to see what they think and see how they feel about it, which is awesome. Yeah, I was in there listening to a little bit of it. And at the end of the day, I think it's so all about if what he said satisfied you and you feel okay with trusting them, that's all on you. I mean, some people trust Charmin, some people trust Scott's Tissue. What the hell? I don't know, but I know who I'm going to trust. So at the end of the day, in this space, everybody should, take a look into any audit company that's doing anything, to a project, because you have to research your research. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I have to say about that. Good information in there though. But yeah, that's how I feel about it at the end of the night.
Oh yeah, and I'm really looking forward to going back and listening to Cryptic Wolf. Me and him have had went over a lot of our same questions because he was on vacation and he is the wolf. So he's that's when it was really gonna heat up on their ass. So he might need some of that Charmin you were just talking about here soon. But and the thing is I held it with a lot of professionalism. It wasn't catty at all. So I also do believe him recognizing my names from challenging him in post on Twitter, and to that if I wanted to do a follow-up at any given time, I'm pretty sure I could wait him out of the pool for that. I think what he was going to be using this tonight for was a way of describing the new V2 version of Assure DeFi and their law firm that they brought on and everything else. So at the end of the day, I think it was just a lot of hot air. I think it was a lot of talking points, and I don't think he was fully prepared to answer the questions. I mean, I think the only really direct answer that we got is my last question when I said, is anybody on your team part of the Kryptonaires? And he did say no. And I mean, we can take that with a grain of salt or not, but I truly wanted to know that.
Yeah, well, we're gonna touch on to that after we because they're still going on with the with the chat right now with the Sure DeFi, I'm sure. So I'm sure it's gonna be more to listen to, once they're done recording. Let's see. Pele, I'm gonna go right to you. What questions actually did you have?
Okay, so I am quite a man. I don't even think I can say I'm a freaking novice. I'm very new to the crypto space. I've been a skeptic for many years. Anyway, NFTs. I heard that I heard recently, like literally a couple of weeks ago, I was listening to a few gentlemen actually talk about they had like front row seats at an NBA game, tickets to that, right? And they took those tickets and somehow converted them into an NFT and was able to slang them on that platform. I'm using my verbiage because I really don't know the verbiage in this world, so forgive me. But how in the hell does how in the hell did that happen? Number one, and number two, is that possible to be applied on other like memorabilia with value? Is that something that's going to continue to become more of a thing? You know what I'm saying? Evolving over time, where we can take like things that are of tangible physical value and convert it to an NFT and increase the value. I don't know, but in digital currency, I guess. Can you kind of give me a little bit of insight or some type? How is that possible? How did that happen? And is that going to be becoming more of a thing?
Let me see. I got some NFT specialists in here too. I mean, I want to see what they're going to say. So, Cap, you're an NFT fanatic. Can you answer that? Where is he? Is he here?
Yeah. Sorry, I was typing. I totally missed out what the question was, if I'm being honest.
I can repeat it. I'll make it. The skinny is most very recent. There was a gentleman that was able to take his front row seats, which at an NBA game, which was high value, high costing, of course, and he was able to take it and convert it into an NFT some way somehow, right, and be able to increase the value of that NFT, I guess, some way somehow, and gain more money, get more money from that. I just don't know how those NFTs are used. For a while, I thought it was just creating a bunch of what pixelated avatars in the metaverse. But now that I'm hearing there's actual tangible values that you can actually apply and convert some way somehow into an NFT and be able to put it out in the market for someone to purchase. Is that going to become more of a thing? And how is that even freaking possible?
Well, that is a first for me that I have heard of something like that happening. Um, I'm not really sure how that would gain more value of just his picture of his seats or whatever it was, or a ticket.
Well, it
I
was
don't
a
know.
pic. Yeah, she said it was a I guess a picture of the tickets to the game. So
Okay. Okay.
since I'm
I
like a
can send you the link. I could, send you Oculus and Kept. I can send you the actual link to the information, but I haven't dug enough and I don't know enough. So I was just wondering, like, whoa, how is that? How is that possible? I need some layman explanation.
I think
But is that yeah?
I think it's because it's like you can like digitize basically anything and make it as an NFT and put it on the blockchain. Since art is subjective and things like collectibles are subjective. I mean, some of the things that I pay a lot of money for, someone else may not think they have any value. So I don't know. Let's say he took a picture of maybe he has tickets to Kobe's last game. You know, at the LA Arena. At the Staples Arena, right? That is probably going to be valuable to somebody who is a basketball collector of of products from there, like basketball cards and things of that sort. So if he actually digitizes it, takes a picture of it, puts it on a blockchain, somebody may actually buy it. And he made it rare. I guess maybe he only made a certain amount of copies of it. Like the less copies of an NFT, the more expensive it can be.
And we are going in to the playoffs and everything like that. So it's essentially what he's doing is he had these tickets. That was one of those tickets. You aren't going to get those tickets again unless it's another game. So he was just tokenizing, well, not tokenizing, he was making a non-fungible token of this picture, and depending on how many he did, but it's always going to be based on what somebody holds value to. But I did see that, so Deb and Bobby raised their hands, and I do know Bobby knows quite a bit about these NFTs also.
No, I was gonna say because she asked to put it in layman's terms. You remember, I think it was the Wu-Tang Clan. They released this really limited edition album with songs that nobody's ever really heard of to this day on it, and someone paid like millions of dollars for it. When I think of kind of like a layman's description of what an NFT is and how it holds value to people, I would think of something like that, like if that makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense because that's what I was saying before. It just all depends on who would find something like that valuable. I mean, I remember that where somebody paid like a big amount of money for that Wu Tang album, to have the rights to it and just own the only copy of it. So yeah, so obviously that person actually thought it was worth it to pay that much for it. That's what I
Right.
was.
And
Yeah.
NFTs are going to have a place coming up in a digital space because the internet's not going nowhere. Social networking ain't going nowhere. People trying to talk to each other on the internet and buying and selling things. Cryptocurrency isn't going anywhere. So NFTs are kind of like the next logical step. And I could see like sort of like how we have the Oculus VR set, and when you log into it, because we have one, you have a little home area, like it's got your little living room and shit. So I'm thinking like certain NFTs and collectibles, you may be able to do certain things like, eventually decorate your little VR home in the metaverse or some shit like that. But I think that's kind of how I think of it in my mind, like the Wu Tang album that nobody gives a fuck about except whoever paid $1 million for it.
Right, right. Bobby, what's up, Bobby?
Hey, yeah, so I actually can speak on that really well. Um, so just so I think I understand your question, like you're talking about that guy had pictures in regards to a sporting event, like and in the future, and it's actually being applied now. There's NFTs actually doing application of this. You can like think of it as like the NFT being paired to a tangible asset. So let's say you buy an NFT for a Dallas Cowboys football game, right? That NFT is your entrance ticket to get into that game. So in some sense, it holds historical value, showing that you were in attendance possibly, and then on top of that, you also have the tangible value of it because it is an event. So that is just one example. Another way is again, like I'm in these communities, I see what they're doing. I'm watching like what they're trying to provide to their communities, and all again they're all different. Some of them, on top of, they'll write into their white papers like, for mint, if you get a NFT in conjunction you'll get merch. You know what I'm saying? So that's another tangible item. Or I mean, there's so many use cases for that stuff, but like, even somebody was saying like metaverse, right? So like metaverse wise, like, you, for all we know, like in the future, 10 years from now, like people may look back and be like, oh, NFTs, remember how they were developed and stuff, and people may have art galleries of these NFTs and charge people to come in to look at them, via VR. So there's so many different use cases out there on top of the DeFi aspect, like staking and all that stuff as well. So hopefully that answers your question.
You can essentially own like part of a company with these NFTs pretty much.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then on
Cap, are
top of
you still?
that,
What?
Nothing. I was getting a blank air, so I was wondering if somebody was still talking. Then it all came back in, and I could hear you.
some circumstances that can save you money. Like you may be a whitelist for an NFT that mints for 0.25 in in regards to like the public mint that does 1.25. So you may, you know what I'm saying? So like you may be able to get 4 or 5 more of that NFT. And then, it's sometimes that's valuable to have that available to you because it puts you in a better position to, you know, buy something at a cheaper cost with the intent again, unless you're just a collector, eventually you probably will sell it if the price is right, and make 10 to 100x on your money. But again, you do your own research, find the right projects, and I think it's a reality.
Right, Bobby. I definitely agree with what you said. Pele, did we answer your question? Do you have another one?
Yes, he did. He did. I was actually very clear. Thank you so much. See, I didn't know. See, I have to go back and listen to what that guy said. I didn't know he took a picture of his tickets. I thought he took the valuation of the tickets, like commodified it into an NFT it. But see, that's how you know I'm ignorant. That's why I'm here. So I appreciate it. But no, thank you for the breakdown.
No, not ignorant. We're all still learning because NFTs are still kind of like a new thing, and a lot of people don't understand it. So, never ignorant. And we love the questions. Let's see. Kim, what's up? You decided to come up to the mic. Hey, Kim, what's up?
It just put her back down into listening. There might be some issues. I was having a few issues here a minute ago, but it looks like it's all starting to come back in for me. If we keep having issues, I'll probably back out and come back in also.
Okay, cool, no problem. Let's see. All right, can you guys hear me? What the hell's going on with this space?
I can hear you now. I'm
Yeah, I hear
now
you.
able to hear things now.
All right, Kim, you're requesting to get back hold. Yeah. Did Kim? No, it dropped her down to listener. I don't know why it's dropping her down to listener. Let me send you an invite. Okay.
Oh, speaking of NFT, I mean, in regards to NFTs, what do you guys think of ApeCoin?
um, I don't really know what kind of to think about it. It's just for me when I think about it, it's just amazing to me how much money people will spend on such uninteresting art. But hey, that's just my opinion about it. I mean, that's what I think about it.
I just think it's insane that people minted the Bored Ape Yacht Club for around $138, and now they're making $250,000 selling them. And then the whole brand that they've put around, and now they're tokenizing it. So it might be for some people. I do know people sold it lower, thinking that it did its little run, and I did see today that it's going up. I just think if it's for you, it's for you. That was one thing that I didn't get in on the NFT bandwagon of that because at that point I did not see any value in any NFT over $100 because I was still very ignorant to it and not fully understanding it between Bobby and Cap and Heck and um, a few other people. I got a little bit more educated in NFTs and kind of have dug in. So I guess if that's in your wheelhouse and that's what you're doing, there's been a lot of money to be made in that sector. But I missed the bus on that one, and I'm not even mad.
Well, if that's the case, I missed the bus on a lot of these NFTs because a lot of these things you guys were talking about, Bobby, um, Josh, Cap, all you guys been talking about certain of these NFTs for a long time. And so I've missed the boat on a lot of them because I know you guys like, oh, it only costs 1 Solana to mint this. And I'm like, but it's freaking ugly. And then I come back, like a week or two later, and you guys are like, the floor price is 13 Sol. So yeah. Uh, it's just kind of like crazy how I've missed so many, but I'm still not upset. I'm glad you guys are making money. Cap, you was gonna come on. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna touch on that Bored Ape stuff. I seen them. They're partnering up with. I don't know if anybody in here has heard of the Happy Dad seltzer brand. It was created by the Nelk boys. They started out as a YouTube channel, like prank type thing, but they got a massive following, and they had created a seltzer brand called Happy Dad. And I just seen that the Bored Ape is coming out. They're gonna be on the banana flavor limited edition can apparently by them. And I also seen that Snoop Dogg partnered up with Nelk in Full Send as well. But it's just interesting to see Bored Ape just popping up like everywhere. I mean, it's kind of crazy, but it's just a Bored Ape Yacht Club brand. But to see it bring in so much money, I don't know. I'm just hoping to catch an NFT that does something somewhat close to what they are doing. So it's crazy world, crazy world with the NFTs.
Yeah, and it's kind of like they just came out of nowhere. I mean, I've heard about, they've been around, but it's just like they just started picking up steam like rapidly, like I mean at a real fast pace. Like I mean, like being listed on like how many exchanges in one day, and then the price for the NFTs getting so expensive. I'm trying to figure out where this wave come from.
It's from those elites that seeing that this was one of those first projects, and they all started trying to grab them as a way of storing wealth. And from there, people started seeing it everywhere from wealthy investors, and then they jumped on the bandwagon. But I don't think what Cap has right now with the Best Buds, the Mary Jane, they're coming out with a baby one, and then the animal or the puppies, they probably will have kittens too. But I don't see it being too far fetched from what you're holding right now. You've already gotten a tremendous increased floor on yours, and they just keep spreading that brand. So you don't know, you might be holding the next Bored Ape Yacht Club.
That's true. Yep, pretty much got the Mary Janes for pretty much free now because the staking. I can stake both of those for the All token, which works with the Stone to Ape crew in their ecosystem. The floor on those is like 80, 90 Sol, but the All Blue is the All token that we get for staking. It's going to be like a launch pad / incubator. Should be pretty interesting. I'm curious to see how that all plays out, but the Best Buds are working pretty closely with the Stone Ape crew. They got quite a serious thing going on over there in their ecosystem. So I'm pretty excited on it.
Nice. Kim, what do you have so it doesn't kick you back out? Because I know you were having issues.
Oh yeah. I have 2 Twitter accounts, and if I make a mistake and click on that other one, then I'm screwed. And I hear y'all twice coming, just crazy. But anyway, so I was just kind of touching bases on what Pele. I think that's how you guys pronounced it. So if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry. But I thought I heard that NFTs. So let's take a Jordan card. They said if it's made into an NFT, then there is no way to duplicate that. I don't understand it myself, but it's supposed to be where if you have Jordan card number, you know how we got the trading cards, and the trading cards wound up being you might get number 10, but then 100 people have number 10 because everybody was duplicating it. Well, they said that when you make it into an NFT, you're the only one that can have that whatever, and you would be the only one that could sell that person, and it's tracked on that blockchain. So they would know that yes, you are the one that had number one, and then you can sell number one for your high ticket dollar, and nobody has to worry about whether or not you're giving them something that's not authentic. So I mean, that's all I can try to contribute, but I didn't hear y'all talking about that. But I know that's something I was hearing, even in the music and stuff, they were saying if whoever bought that Wu-Tang stuff, and I remember he's a little nerd, a little just a little guy, whatever. But anyway, he bought that, and no one else. If you sell Wu-Tang's some type of big Wu-Tang music package, everybody is able to check it on the blockchain to know that that is not the authentic one that was sold to that person. So something like that. Okay, that's all I have to contribute because I have no idea. We've already talked about you can you can take your picture and put it as an NFT, and if somebody wants to buy it, they'll buy it.
And what you're saying is absolutely true. If you have whatever said picture, art, what have you within the NFT, and it is an original piece from you, and if those are your tickets that you bought and those are an original piece from you, and you go to mint them, you can only say, hey, I want one of one, or I want one of five. That person who's going to put it up for mint, it can say how many issuance of this one that they want, and the blockchain will provide the documentation behind it saying, hey, I bought this, it transferred ownership to me, and I have the 1 of 10 and you have the 2 of 10. But from there, nobody is supposed to be able to duplicate that and try to put it onto another NFT marketplace and such.
Yeah, I think that the interesting thing to me about NFTs is the rarity, because the 1 of ones seems to be the most rare, and like the 1 of 5 of 1 of 10s, because there's only one Mona Lisa painting, and that's very valuable. You know how much that's worth. So you can actually kind of like, you can determine your own value, especially if there's a market for it. That's the interesting thing about NFTs. It's only 5. You only have 5 copies of this, so 5 people are going to have the rights to this exclusive digital art or digital music or whatever it is. So I think that aspect of NFTs is pretty interesting to me.
Right. And OB, do you remember off the top of your head? Because I didn't write it. Well, I don't have it written down in front of me for the Twitter space of Jack's first tweet. How much that just went for as an NFT?
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up, but I think yeah, let me see Jack's NFT first tweet. It sold for like for $2.9 million. Somebody actually bought Jack Dorsey, who is the founder and former CEO of Twitter. Somebody actually brought his first tweet for $2.9 million, which is, to me, it's not actually a bad investment, especially if you got the money, because Twitter is actually the first of its kind. It's a very innovative, site. So somebody actually paid $2.9 million for, the CEO's tweet.
I mean, if
but
it
nobody
goes
wants
for
to buy it now, though.
you.
Yeah, but see now that somebody's trying to sell it, and what was it like? It was up for grabs for less than $14,000. So this person who's trying to sell it is going to take a loss. They paid $2.9 million for it, and if they decide to sell it, it's up for grabs. Like now he's selling it, and the market for it is not that great. And I think because a lot of people don't like Jack of Twitter right now, because just looking at like the Twitter climate, when people talk about him, people don't like him. So I don't think that there's a market for anything like his first tweet. That's just how I feel about it. Maybe it's the wrong time to sell it. Let's see. Who else? Can you guys hear me? Just like a dead silence.
Yes, I had walked away from my phone, was trying to rush back to unmute my mic.
All right, DeFi. Where's
No,
DeFi?
but yeah, definitely. I think if somebody holds on to it, you can't buy it for that inflated amount and then try to piggyback and try to sell it. And I think it would have behooved them to hold on to that a little bit longer if they were trying to make any type of money off of it. And we also know that, God forbid, I'm not wishing any harm on anybody, but if something were to happen to him, then I think that would hold more value to somebody. Nobody's tweet holds that much value to me. So
This person had a lot of money to play with, obviously. I mean, $2.9 million just for a picture of his tweet. And I saw his tweet. It wasn't anything epic. It was just something like, made my first tweet or something stupid like that,
yeah, he was saying setting up my first or setting up my Twitter or it was something stupid like that.
So somebody thought that was worth $2.9 million. And that's why I think that NFTs are going to be here for a long time, and they're going to make people a lot of money, because it's just amazing what people actually pay money for, the things that they pay money for. I've seen people pay thousands of dollars for a 3D sphere as an NFT. That's actually worth 2 Ethereums. I mean, somebody thinks they are, but definitely not me. DeFi, what's up? You came on the mic.
Hey, I just want to say hello to everybody and see how everyone was doing. I'm glad that you guys did decide to go forward with the space this week too, in addition to what they had going on over at Crypto Underground. I think that your thoughts expressed thus far have been really interesting about NFTs. And I think it's awesome that people like Cap and Bobby are kind of able to keep their finger on the pulse of the NFT market. It's a really interesting space because initially, like, it was the kind of thing that I wanted to write off, as like, there's no way that you can predict what's going to be, valuable. Like, this is like just way too speculative. But then when I kind of took a step back, like, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing in the DeFi space is highly speculative, and it's just a matter of, I keep my finger on the pulse of the DeFi market, and I sort of maintain my edge in the market that way, and basically don't lose money in that way. And so I think that I don't know, it's just an observation that I've made recently, and a humbling one too. Just to remember that, like, everyone is able to maintain an edge in the market. It's just a matter of being diligent with it. And I'm sure that, like, Cap, and Bobby, when you're looking at new projects, you're sort of evaluating, okay, who are these founders, right? What is their roadmap? How are they gonna make money and continue to make money? How can I continue to make money from this? Is this the kind of thing that I want to hold long term and gain residual income that way, or is this the kind of thing that I just want to flip? No question in there, really, just a bunch of ramblings, but wanted to come up and say hi.
Thank you, DeFi. Yeah, no, that was always going to be a thing. When I had spoke to Oculus about us being offered a seat on the panel over at Crypto Underground, that was one of the first conversations. Was that's cool and everything, but we still have a consistency, and we still have our community, and we still have a brand that we are building, which is important to both of us together and individually. So she was graceful enough to give me a little bit of extra time so I could listen in a little bit more. But I do think what we provide to the community and the community that we were building, it was essential for us to come on, even if slightly late. And so I appreciate you for stopping in here too. And we are super grateful to have people like Cap and Bobby. There are a good handful of them that they aren't just on right now. And I was brushing off NFTs. Like, yeah, okay. I played around. I got my angry baboons, and we've been training them. I fell off training them, but been training them. We're supposed to be able to be fighting them on the game, but I got those. I have one rugged NFT, but it's still a cute little nano ninja. I'm happy with it, I guess. I mean, it didn't cost me a whole lot, so I'm still walking around with it. But I guess when you're looking at the vastness and how the crypto space is growing, there might be some people who only jump in to crypto to only want to play within the NFTs and watching it grow into like our name brand video games like Call of Duty and Battlefield and things like that. So we know it's going to go there. We don't know when it's going to get there. And just like you might have people that come in and only want to do blue chips, or some people that only want to do nodes. So I think that there's always going to be a niche for these individual things, and which is great because people are going to be able to do what they want to do when they want to do it. But then you have the majority of us, I feel, that are in here right now are on let's diversify, let's get a piece of the pie over here, here, and here. I am grateful that we do have some people around us that become more and more educated in NFTs because OV and I can pass the mic to Bobby and Cap, for example, because they're right here and they have they're better in tuned and an understanding of that niche. So I feel like they provide a lot of value also to the community.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why I hopped on Captain Bobby, because it's like these are two individuals that I know for a fact actually buy these things. Like they buy them. Like they have more than one. So definitely, I was like, okay. But I caught you off guard, Cap. I'm sorry. I know Cap probably was just sitting in his room like going do 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 do. Oh shit. I'm sorry.
I'm playing Dazed Ducks trivia in the Discord, trying to win a free soul right now.
I'm sorry, Cap, but I knew you'd have an answer for me. I didn't mean to catch you off guard, but
no worries.
Bobby came in and then you came back in clutch. Thank you, guys.
Yes, and I do really, really appreciate you. Bobby, didn't you have some poker tonight with one of your NFT groups?
No, that was last night. Actually, we had a collaboration with 6 other NFT communities, and we had what we call a Royal Rumble. we had like 200 people playing these games, and then like the winner won like 3 soul or something like that. And again, these communities are crazy. Like Captain's over here talking about playing Dazed Ducks. They got game night where like you can win NFTs, you can win soul. It's crazy. Just like real quick, and then I'll get off of this here. But like, if you're here listening to us talk about NFTs, you're here. You're early. You're still early. Like I've been in the NFT space for a couple years, but like I'm serious. Like I'm a DeFi head when it comes to crypto. Like I'm all down them rabbit holes, you know. So and then the NFT is like my second thing, right? Like I know a lot about DeFi, but now like I'm loving the passion for NFTs, and like you need to understand that like a couple years ago we were saying the same stuff about DeFi. Like we're finding them like it'll grow, these communities will grow, and then like now we're saying it about NFTs. So if you doubt or again do your own research, but like I'm serious, like we're early, you're early, so just don't take that for granted. That's all.
Definitely. And what I will say is if any of you guys aren't in our Telegram group, OB and I will, one of us will post it and then we'll share it and you guys can join in. Bobby is in there. So if you have any questions that you want to run by and just communicate with like-minded people, we are definitely in there.
Yeah. Yes, I was looking for to post our Telegram, but okay. I'm gonna throw the mic to Wiz. Wiz, you asked to come on the mic, and then we'll go to you, Chris. What's up, Wiz?
Hey, how you guys doing?
All
throw it
right, all
out
right.
with.
I just want to say what's up to you guys real quick and happy 420 day.
Happy 420 day to you too, with. I hope all you that participate are enjoying your day.
Definitely, definitely. And I just wanted to touch on the NFT thing real quick. And I think Pele asked a question about maybe the longevity of NFTs and if this is going to be like a thing. And what I'm saying is it's going to be a real good use case for business owners as a way to offer value to your customers. Say like a barbershop owner wanted to give lifetime passes or a yearly pass to their customers for haircuts. They could tokenize, um, you know, that voucher as an NFT and then offer it to your customers. They pay you the money in advance, and then they can use the NFT, every time they're going to use that service. Um, so as I scour around and learn more about NFTs, I'm seeing use cases such as that come up more and more. So I think right now we're seeing the art piece where NFTs are used. But I think we're going to see more and more as businesses get involved.
I think you're right because I was listening to a Twitter space a little while ago, and they were talking about for the conference. Well, actually, it was East Denver here, and they were talking about what they want to try to do with this one company. And this company came up to the mic and was discussing different avenues of using NFTs within the space. And they were saying when you have a conference or something, if you give these the people who want to attend and they sign up their key to go mint their NFT, so then they'll have their ticket where you're not getting scalpers for tickets and things like that. So I definitely see that coming on the backside of this also. So yeah, that's really valid point right there too. And Chris had came up. We'll go to Chris and then we'll go to Kim. What's up, Chris?
Hey, how's everyone doing? How are you
Doing
doing?
all right. What's up?
Not much, not much. I kind of was listening in on that other space there earlier for a little bit. I don't know. It seems I'm not going to get too much into it, but it just seems like there's a lot of gray area.
Oh, there was a whole lot of gray area, Chris, and there was a whole lot of dancing in the ring like Mayweather. There was a lot of not direct answers. So it to the point that I backed out because we had our space, obviously, was I think it was leading to more questions and answers for the typical investor that didn't do some of the deep research that a few of us did preparing for that AMA, which was unfortunate. I'm looking forward to going back and listening to the rest of the recording, especially Wolf. But yeah, I think it's leaving a little bit more questions than direct answers, what we were hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, I just went in there. I know I listened to you ask your questions, and then I pretty much got out after like two or three. I had to, not just for that, just personal stuff, but wanted to see what you guys thought. I found this project several days ago. I know everyone said because someone, I guess, on the Twitter space had posted about it that would turn off their involvement in it. But it was Encore, which was a new node creation that I found, like around the high $4, shot up already to $10 and change. I guess peaked at around $14 today at some point, but looks pretty interesting and something different. So I've spoken to the people on there. They reply back pretty quickly. It's a newer project. Have you seen anything about it yet?
I had seen a little bit and I started doing research, but I had been kind of preoccupied the last few days. Is that the one by chance that I just seen Coffee post about, or was that something different?
No, that's the one because that's what everyone's like, oh God, whatever project he's in, we don't want to be in. And I'm like, well, I told everyone about it. I probably like several, I want to say almost, it's been a week, about it. And then he went and posted about it today. And I was just like, I'm like, I got in, fairly early. So I'm like, anything he's involved in, they're like, is a lot of pump and dumps. But I mean, it's a pretty interesting project because I mean, it's all based on videos and stuff, and like what people, and you get a percentage of like the revenue that whatever they bring in. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna bring in or who they're partnering with video wise, but it was just something new and refreshing. So I thought I'd share it with you, if you hadn't heard about it already.
I briefly heard about it. I just wrote it down though, and I put your name next to it. So now that I'm done preparing for that AMA, I'm getting back into doing other research. I had to like really pigeonhole myself for the last few days just to make sure that I sounded educated coming across, and especially coming as one of the two of us from this space. I just didn't want to sound uneducated or not fully prepared for our brand. So I definitely have it written down on my notes, Chris. And I don't know if anybody else has heard about it. I know DeFi just unmuted his mic, or if OV has, but I'll definitely look more into it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so Chris definitely did make that call super early, and hey man, congrats. That's awesome. Why don't you give people like a 30-second description of kind of what it is though? Just because I doubt that anyone else in the space has actually really heard of it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, like I came across it and I was just like, ooh. And I mean, you probably know more about it than I do, to be honest. I like, as far as I'm concerned, it's based on, an advertisement, for people posting videos or footage or whatever it may be. You get point one per node rewards, and then I believe it's going to be. Let me look here. I think it's like 20% of what they make on the. All right, here we go. So that wasn't it. Let me see if I still have it on my phone. But you get a percentage of their income on top of what they make as a company. So I think you probably explain it better than I did, to be honest with you, because when it comes to the technical side of things, I'm not that tech savvy per se, but it's definitely a lot different than some of the others because it's got multiple it's streaming services pretty much. So, and they have a partnership announcement. I wrote to them about it. They seem pretty humble about it and how the streaming industry is going to be, and the several billions, and how they're going to maintain a big portion of it. But it's basically investing in streaming. You get through the node, and then you also get a percentage of whatever the person makes off of their whatever it is that they're advertising. Oh, so 20% of pay-per-view revenue earned by content creators is paid out weekly in US dollar coin and distributed in proportion to Encore nodes held. 70% of advertising revenue from the Encore website. So you get that on top of the actual reward system from the node, and it's all based on streaming and videos.
Okay. Do you know if it's just streaming like as a service, or is it like streaming for creators or anybody who has intellectual property that they can put on there?
Yeah, I believe it's for anything. Like it's just a complete open space for advertising, for like if whatever content, if you're someone that, comes up with your own private mini series or something or show. It's basically just from what I've read so far. Like I said, it's in such early stages, but apparently, the revenue stream portion of the pay per view revenue or whatever is coming out at the end of the month is what that coffee guy said. I don't know how true that is, but there's a partnership announcement that they're going to make here shortly with someone already. But it's just refreshing to see something that's taking money and generating it from a different type of source, like streaming per se, and advertisement and whatnot, versus your typical, through NFTs. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I enjoy that, that it's something new. And a lot of people advertise online and create videos and their own streams and whatnot. So we'll see what that creates. Who knows, they could partner with YouTube, Netflix, anything. You never know.
Definitely. One thing I will say though, Chris, is while I'm doing the research, keep a very close pulse on it, since he did mention it today. To protect yourself, just keep a very close eye on what's happening within that project once he brought it up. Not saying that it's going to crash, but sometimes they do crash. So just being mindful so that if you need to make any type of movements within the way that you are invested, so you don't get shit on, would be my only suggestion, while other people are still looking into it also. But if you're happy with it and you've done your research and you're liking it, hey, more power to you. I just can't tell you personally my thoughts on it yet until I can really dig into it. Obi, have you heard of it at all?
Actually, no. But I've also kind of like muted the word node because I don't want to get into anymore. So on Twitter, like I really did. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm muting this damn word because I can't be just like, overextending myself, and FOMO gets to the best of us, So I said no. So that's probably why I haven't heard of it.
I feel you there. And I came across it, and, I just, someone that I have that I follow, that I mentor, just says to keep your eye out for different things. At $40 a node, I was just like, well, I'm going to go and make one, to where I can get one a day because it's 0.1 per node. I just said, why not? It wasn't expensive enough. And for me, if the entry point is comfortable, then I don't really care if the project ends up being garbage or not. Right now it seems
right.
to
It
be.
sounds like it's a money grab, which is nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm not hating on that at all. I say go for it. If you have the money to spend and you don't mind taking a loss, go for it. I mean, I didn't, realize it was that cheap. There's a lot of people here who got into nodes very cheap. Polar,
Yeah.
Power, a lot of them, and they've made some huge gains. So definitely, I mean, hop on it. I just haven't seen it because I know me. I don't want to like just have like 13 node projects and claiming every day, because then that gets a little annoying and it kind of expensive also too. So
No, I get it. I switched over to like blue chips. Like I focus on that now. Like I kind of left the nodes alone. Like I finally got to the point where I'm not claiming every day on a lot of stuff. Like I've just kind of wore myself out with it. But it was a little refreshing because it was something new. And it wasn't a ridiculous pricing. Like apparently Apex is supposed to be a big one coming out soon that, that looks like they got their stuff in line. But, I'm ready for all season to be here and taking the node money and putting into that stuff. It's, we had a big dip, with a lot of those coins. So, for me, I'm not a huge expert in it whatsoever, but it's no different than what I've read and what I've been taught. If you just buy it really low, or when it goes in dips low, and then you just hold it till it goes up and it goes really high in the green and you sell it. And then you just rinse and repeat.
right, it's kind of like gravity. What goes up must come down. You buy, if you buy it low, it's eventually going to go up. It just depends on when you got into it, which is definitely how I feel about a lot of projects. But I'm going to actually talk about another coin that I held before, since Thymeless was in that group about auditing. I think this is going to be pretty cool. But Kim, we're going to go to you first. Go ahead, Kim.
Yeah, I was just I just wanted to ask people or somebody if in fact if I claim 15 strong from 15 different nodes, so let's say that's $200 for the gas. So if I wait and I claim 45 strong from 15 different nodes, is that going to be the exact same price? Does anybody know? Because I think I've been doing this wrong. Because you know, every time I get 10, I build a node, but I have to claim in order to build a node. So every time I claim, I'm looking at, you know, 100 and something, maybe even 200 and something. And so I was just thinking, I was like, well, if they say it's just because it's a different interaction, if I just leave them all for a month and then do them all, claim them all, then am I going to just spend that, you know, 100 and something, maybe $200 on 45 tokens versus every 10 tokens? You know what I'm saying? So is anybody can help me with that?
And Bowser threw up his hand to answer to that one, and I seen a Millie did, so I'll have Bowser go, and then we'll go to a Millie.
Yeah, it's not based on the amount of coins, it's just based on how many nodes you have. So honestly, it's just dependent on when you actually claim. I guess, like, you know, late night, 2, 3 in the morning, it's usually the cheapest. But it doesn't really matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter
No,
if you
no,
claim now or 10
so
tokens
what I'm
or
saying
45. Go ahead,
is,
sorry.
what I'm saying is, even if it's $500, oh, I don't care what time it is. If I'm only claiming one token from each node, I'm paying $500. So as long as, if that's the cost, then if I'm claiming 45 or 3 tokens from each node, it's still just going to be $500. That's I just want to.
Yeah. Again, it's based on the gas price at the time. But yeah, pretty much if the gas price was identical now, if you're claiming 10 versus a month from now and it's 45 and the gas is the exact same, then it's going to be the same price. It's just how many nodes you have. Yeah. So better to sometimes hold a little bit longer than claiming every chance you get. That's what I usually do. Wait a little bit before I claim. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, when the tokens were $500, you know, it was kind of like, you know, yeah, go ahead and every 10 tokens, you know. But since the tokens have dropped, I'm like, wait a minute, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to claim now. It doesn't make sense to claim. It doesn't make sense to claim constantly with stronger right now. So better to wait. I mean, I usually wait now like 2 or 3 weeks. If I see the price of the coin moving up or down in a certain direction, I might just claim ahead just so I can have it, you know, with me. But like I said, I tend to wait and watch gas to see if it drops middle of the night, and that's what I do.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
And what do you got, Millie?
I was gonna say you could just use the method of just creating more rewards. So like instead of, if you got 10, instead of claiming at 10, claim at 13, and then take the 3 extras that you got and pay yourself back for the fees that you just spent to claim. You know, that's pretty much that's been a strategy. I've been using that strategy for a while. Like every time when I get to 10, I'll wait till I get to 12. And then the 2, I'll pocket the difference with the money. So you get it right back.
Right. But see, I was saying to myself, if I can save myself $500 a month by just keeping all of them until I do it one time, you know, then
you can do that. You just have to have self-discipline, because it's like you feel like when you have, like I have 10 right now to make another node, and I'm gonna wait till I have 20 to claim all 20 instead of the 10. But it's like when you on Twitter and you reading the timeline and somebody says, "Oh, I just made another node," or "I just made another node," and you know you have 10 when you could just make another one. Sometimes you just be like, let me just make it. But if you hold it, you're still gaining the same amount. Whether you have, if you have 10 nodes right now and you can make 11, but you decide to just hold the rewards instead of making 11, you just hold the rewards, you're still gaining the same amount as if you claimed the 10 to make the 11th node. It's still the same thing. Time wise, it's still the same thing. So yeah, everybody has a different strategy for how they want to do it. But I believe the Polygon nodes, eventually you can have 100 Polygon nodes, and you will only get charged when you claim for one node. That's what the service 2 contract is. That's what David Moore said they're doing. for the service too. So that's one of the perks of having polygons, is that you won't get a claim for multiple nodes. It'll just be one. So imagine paying $40 and you got 30 nodes. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the toss ups. You can go that, or you can stick to the Ethereum ones, you know.
And wasn't that part of what was going on during this quarter too? And I thought like this week or next week, one of the first ones were going to roll out, where they were going to combine it and where you would be able to claim all your nodes in one transaction. I was pretty sure that's what I was reading, but I need to go back and look because I let that kind of fall to the wayside again too.
I think the entangled nodes, if I'm not mistaken, is like one of the first next things that they're gonna drop. And I still don't really know what that means, but that's what supposedly is supposed to be like, kind of like the next move is gonna be the entangled nodes. And probably something else, but something's coming. Something is definitely coming around the corner. And speaking real quick of the Polygon nodes, I have a friend who over the weekend I convinced her to she knows nothing about crypto. So once again, she's like, listen, just, I'm gonna give you some money and just jump into whatever you're doing. So she gave me enough money to buy 4 Polygon nodes, but I only bought 3 for her. So, with me, I'm stacking my Ethereums, but with her, I decided to buy Polygon because you can, compound much quicker. And then I thought about the science behind it, as far as what they're saying is going to happen, that eventually after the 90 days, it goes down to 0.09, which is pretty much what Ethereum is paying. And then it'll taper off slowly for the years to come accordingly. But I thought about it. If you have, let's say you have 50 Polygon nodes, and one through another 20 or 30 nodes by the time that actually gets to the life cycle, if there is an actual end of life cycle with the node. So just food for thought for people still trying to figure out, whether to go Polygon, whether to go, Ethereum.
I'm glad
that's
you
what
said it.
That's what he was doing the other night when he called me. That's what
Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say, wasn't Amelie the one saying,
no, he hit me up the other night and was asking about Polygon nodes. And I was like, what are you over there doing? So that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
All right, Z5, what do you got?
Hey, so totally different subject. But this was a little bit inspired by Ovi's half joking comment about, well, it sounds like a money grab, but I thought that was pretty funny earlier. So I wanted to get your thoughts on how do I phrase this? So what have you guys seen as far as multi-level marketing in crypto, and is there anything that you've seen that has struck you as legitimate?
Quick answer for me, no, I have not. I do know people are following that that drip all that and some of the other ones that's got brought up in here to me. The one thing I don't like in crypto for that, and OV might have a whole nother side of it too, is I don't like that I have to hoe myself out there for a link for people to join for me to keep getting paid. Like, you have no bitch over here. But if I wanted to do that, I could definitely go and do Avon. I could go do New Skin. I could do one of those things in real life. I just feel
Amway.
like, yeah, any of those. It's just like, for me, I feel like it's not in the cards of the way how I invest. And I don't want to be looking like a panicked dog just running up and down the road. Please join my link. Please join my link. Please join my link. And just having to monitor. And that's how I'm making money. I feel like that kind of takes it out of the realm and the scope of what I believe crypto investment is for. What about you, Ov?
You know what it is? Basically, multi-level marketing is nothing but a pyramid scheme. And and some of them are illegal and some of them are legal. But you know what? It all depends on the kind of investor or the kind of business person you want to be. I, for one, am kind of lazy. I actually don't want to run after you to buy shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. I don't want to actually do just like what Thymeless said. I don't want to be out here making tweets, join my drip community or join this. I don't feel like doing that. Sometimes I don't want to talk about that. Sometimes I don't want to do that. If I have to actually run you down to make money, it's not going to be successful for me as a person and who I know who I am. So those things always turn me off. I've heard about all the pyramid schemes, the ones where you invest 1,000 and in 2 months you get 3,000 or 4,000. I've done them all. I've had friends who've done them, but for me, I stay away from those projects outside of crypto and in crypto. I'm not that kind of investor. Not at all.
Yeah, and to kind of piggyback off that, and I feel like it would take away from the person who I'm building within the crypto community and the research that I do and the value that I feel like I bring to our community, other communities, and crypto Twitter. I feel like if I were to start doing that, it would take the validity away from the things that I'm building for myself and for our brand here. And I feel like it would just throw it out the window like, oh, okay, you're another shiller. You're doing this, you're doing that. And I just think it really takes the core of what I'm trying to do away from it.
Yeah, so the reason that I ask is I was recently in a Discord and someone brought up a multi-level marketing scheme for trading bots where claiming that like this person was getting like a 4% return daily on their initial investment, and then and the person did this. He like posted this YouTube video describing this trading bot system, and he's like, yeah, and the way that you join is through my link and blah blah blah. And so like it's obviously multi-level marketing, and then like I go to the website and like literally the only way to sign up is if you have a referral link from somebody else, kind of thing. And so I was curious, had you guys heard of trading bot versions of those? And so basically, like the way that the referral links work is the person, so the immediate person that you refer, you get 15% off of their trading profits, and then you get 10% on the next level down of the pyramid, or from the next level down on the pyramid. So I was curious what y'all thought.
That sounds like an arbitrage bot. Oh, so now they're changing names to
yeah. So it is an arbitrage bot.
Oh yeah, I would stay away from that. Let me think of the best way of saying that. I've looked into history of arbitrage bots that have been used within communities that were able to be used somewhat in a scam-like mentality where they were able to siphon off a certain coin off the top. So I'm trying to pick my words appropriately, because I could go completely one way on this, but I did see Millie raise his hand on this too. What do you got, Millie? Or what?
Oh, I was a whole nother subject.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if y'all want to finish that before I ask the
Yeah,
question about.
I'll finish it real quick. So personally, me, DeFi, I'm going to pass this off to OV because she may have a completely different experience. But I will tell you, when I was digging for skeletons along the way, even from some years ago, the arbitrage bot was not the most up and up type of experience. So, OV, what do you got?
And sorry, before you jump in, Ovi, and that was kind of my suspicion, particularly since the only way that you can get into this regimen or into this program is through an affiliate link, and so that was kind of my suspicion. But sorry, go ahead, Ovi.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, the word arbitrage and bots have never actually ended well in anything I've actually read or discussed with anybody. So for me personally, as an investor, I kind of stay away from it. It's kind of like, no, I just don't venture over there because just because I haven't heard anything really good about them in that aspect.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that's certainly helpful context, guys. Yeah, and when I kind of brought up my concerns to this Discord group, I was like almost being gaslit by like people that I kind of respect and trust, and kind of making me think that I was crazy for calling this person out because this person's like a trusted member of the group. But anyways.
Well, you just be careful about that cult-like mentality because you know what? If you're actually calling out a person, we're humans. We make mistakes. Maybe you're bringing something to that person's attention they didn't know. But when you have people ganging up on you for actually bringing valid concerns to the table, then you have to actually wonder to yourself, what's really going on here? Because some people actually follow blindly. And those are the ones you need to steer clear from, especially if you're spending your money. That's some real shit right there because there's no need for you to get offensive or angry if you're asking a legit and honest question about something somebody is doing, whether it's a good project or not. I don't get mad at people for asking hard questions about David Moss. I don't get angry with him. I love my strong nose. I'm still here for the long haul. I don't get mad at people asking questions about the VRA project and why they did certain things they did in the beginning because I'm still for the project. I'm not gonna. I mean, these are legit questions. How can I get mad? So just be careful with that.
Absolutely. And just when it comes, they're just different sides of the coin, of the same coin. And it's funny that I'm hearing that they're changing it to trading bots. A trading bot is when you go on KuCoin and you make buy and sell orders, them to be triggered automatically for you. This is not a true trading bot if you're needing a link to get associated to a project to try to make money. And you're exactly right. It does meet all the criteria of a pyramid scheme. So definitely stay away from that one.
Not financial advice.
Yeah, not financial advice. I'm going to have to start saying that more, guys. My bad.
Yeah, because this is recording. There's some idiot out there like, well, she said,
Right.
Go ahead, Amelie.
This is not financial advice.
Right.
Hey, yeah, I wanted to ask Thymeless about the I got the information you sent me about the door traffic miner for Constellation. And I seen the price. It's a hefty price for that piece. So I just wanted to get some more information regarding it. First, do you have one and have you been using it? And how are the rewards looking if you do have one or if anybody in the room has one? This is or I'll let you explain what it is.
So I don't personally have one. We're on the wait list for the next batch to be notified. I just was not in the position when the sale happened. I do personally know somebody who does have one, and they have it in a place that doesn't get a lot of traffic, and It's like right outside their door, and they are making 97 DAG a day. So it's the more, if you put it in a place with higher traffic, it's mining the data from your foot traffic, and it's making that into money, and it's mining that into DAG, which then you'll get a return. I believe that person is making, if right now, if I remember what DAG is, it's about $17 a day, but it's all dependent on where you put it. And it's, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, I was just finishing that off. That's where I've seen it is. Wyatt has also said, if you want to make larger amounts, then partner with somebody that you know has a lot more foot traffic. If you're just doing it for home or a small business, be prepared that it will take time to build that up over time, but it's going to be doable due to that data is the new oil. And so that's kind of what that's going off of.
So let me ask you, because I work, and at my job is right by the subway station, where you have hundreds of kids every day on these cell phones coming in and out the station, going to school, coming back, and then regular pedestrians. So if I took this device and let's say I stuck it behind a machine or something, like the train system. So let's say like not an ATM, but the cards where they distribute the cards so you can swipe to go inside the turnstile. If I put this thing behind that, mounted it behind that, so it'll be picking up everybody who's on these cell phones waiting on the platform and just walking by. Is this how it works?
Yes, anybody who's walking by, as long as there's a field of view within their sensor, and it doesn't have to be like up and down or side to side. It's however it's going to sit, because honestly, my husband was saying the same thing about the bus station in Mexico. So because there's a lot of movement, if you were to do something like that, I know it's peel and stick. I would secure it a little bit more, because I definitely know people will try to just take whatever the hell that they see if they think that they can pull that off. But yes, it's any movement coming in and out, even if it's the same person. If they move past the sensor, it's grasping that data.
Okay, that's all right. That's good to know, because there's a lot of foot traffic where I work. So I just will have to just cleverly hide it, and probably it'll read, like I said, there's hundreds of kids and hundreds of people that take the train every day. So
this sounds kind of like illegal. He says
But my husband was saying the same thing about the bus
said,
stations in Mexico. He said, I'll go put in a construction jacket and go put it up there real quick.
but see, the difference is I actually work there. So it's not like I'm putting it somewhere and I'm walking away, and then later on in the day, like I literally will be sitting a few feet from where it actually is. But I'm inside an office, whereas I put it outside the office. But the funny thing is, talking about that, like where I live, I always see like a certain car parked in front of my building all the time, and a person sits in his car for hours on a laptop. And I never, prior to getting into crypto, because I've been seeing this happen for maybe 2 years now. Not the same person, but just certain cars for a certain period amount of time. Just the person sits in their car all day, and I'm wondering what they're doing. And I'm starting to think now that people who are into crypto, they might be just parking up with a laptop and just read and doing the same thing, not particularly the one we're talking about, but kind of like data scanning and all types of things. And so the people, but you would never know that, because unless you're in crypto and you're deep in crypto, you wouldn't know what they're doing. But I'm starting to put two and two together, that it could be somebody like with the same idea I have, but the difference is they're sitting in a car parked and picking up everybody's data that's floating around.
Oh yeah, best believe I have thought about actually installing my helium miner at my job, because I'm from New York City and we work in skyscrapers, so I work very high up, and I'm just trying to figure out if I would I was like, if I just leave this here, because I'm so high up, what can I catch? And I have a clear line of view and all that stuff. So, but yeah, I haven't really done that, because that's just, you know, something I haven't actually looked at. But you're right. I don't know. That's another thing. I don't know about that. That's why I wasn't like, you know, I wasn't
legal
trying to just
ramifications of it.
yeah. I didn't want to actually just like, yeah, let me just park my minor at my job. No, I didn't. I don't think that's actually a smart thing to do. But I mean, I probably could do it, but I just haven't actually figured that out yet, you know. But I actually posted about these miners in January, but I didn't get one because it was too expensive. They're still too expensive. $5,000.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot. Yeah,
that's a lot of money. And
that is a lot of money.
But you know what? But you're getting
but
you're getting a lot of DAG a day. That's still, even for like a low traffic area, what you were saying, that's still a lot of coins per day.
Yeah.
Right. And if it was for anybody else but Constellation DAG, I would never have even revisited this idea and the innovation that they're doing and the things building on top of them. So if I'm collecting my bag of coins to go towards their soft node, then getting that daily to add towards that. If it was just about any other company, I probably would have already marked that off my list. But I definitely do like DAG and I do like Constellation. And if Amelia, if you can figure out the legalities of that and make sure you could do that correctly, I think, man,
that would be
if I seen what the person is making, like 90 something DAG a day from a very low traffic area, I could not imagine what you could bring in that situation.
Yeah. I'm gonna look into it. I'll get the money up. The money's not really the issue. I'm just trying to have a justifiable reason to spend the money, you know. But I'm gonna definitely look into it and do more research on it, because I'm definitely interested at this point.
And what were you saying, Ovi? I really cut you off. My bad.
Oh no!
I get excited over DAG.
No. You know what? I've been trying to get people to look at DAG for a long time, and I'm actually glad that I found somebody like you that actually likes it. But I think you like it more because, you know, you were in the military, and, you know, so I think that's why you have more of a passion for it, you know. But I think it's just a good idea. I love what DAG is doing. I don't see this project like going away. Will it be quiet, you know, in the future? I think it will kind of get quiet and just work behind the scenes, you know, but I always think that it's still going to be here. So I never ever felt like their miners were a bad investment. I just didn't have $5,000 basically at the time to give them, you know.
Right.
But
I mean, it is a pretty penny to do it. It definitely is.
And I had just bought this freaking strong node too.
Right. And you have to know that you have a placement for it. Like, okay, I live in the middle of the country. I don't even have the door solicitors or anything. So it's just my family. And my business isn't a storefront. So it was just like, okay, I cannot justify me spending that money right now when I can put $5,000 into something that I can earn a little bit more on right now. I know we are hearing a lot of things about DAG Constellation right now because they are full steam ahead going towards their mainnet, and they're doing a whole lot of things. So I keep my ear to the ground. I do, like you, I do agree that it will start getting a little bit more quiet, but they're always going to be working. And if nobody truly knows what it is, I would implore you to go look at it, because it is one of the only layer zeros. We only look at layer ones, and there's not very many of them. So to go understand what a true layer zero is, what they're doing, what they've been able to accomplish, what the DoD and the Air Force Award has given them. For me, it was a game changer. I had heard little dabblings. OV brought it to me, and I took and ran with that. So if you're not fully understanding of what it is or what they're trying to accomplish and what they are accomplishing right now, I would implore you to go look into that.
Yeah, I like DAG. Like, there's a few projects that, you know, me and Thymeless talk about that we feel are like going to be here for a long time. Gala, I definitely feel that way about Gala. I feel that way about DAG. I feel that way about XDC just because I'm looking at who they're working with and the kind of connections that they have. So there's a lot of projects that I feel like they might not actually, make a lot of noise in the future. And when I mean the future, I mean like, 2023, 2024. But, I'm still actually have faith in these projects because they're good projects. And DAG is definitely one of them. But like I said, I'm not going to be surprised if cause there's some projects I've invested in where they've really been quiet for a whole year, but then they come back the following year and you see what everything they've done. So I think as an investor, just still, have faith in a project even when they're not being as socially active as you want them to be, because some people get disenchanted when they're not seeing a tweet every 25 minutes or 20 or 5 days from the project they're in. You haven't said anything since March 1st and it's March 8th, so so people like that kind of annoy me. It's like they're working, so you just have to give them that bit of a time frame. But DAG is definitely a good one in my opinion.
Right. And I did want to touch on this, and I did accept OSU Bucks to come up, and when I'm done, we can get to you. Is with going along with what OB was saying, is when you're looking and projects aren't always doing a whole lot of tweeting and things like that, or they're doing something that you're unsure of exactly what it is. For example, I've seen a lot of chatter in our Telegram about the staking on the Mayor Exchange versus the meta bonding. And I did just want to put this out there on a blanket statement for a better understanding if you wanted to dig in a little bit deeper. So the staking is the traditional staking, what you see to get the reward, a certain APR, APY for the year, APR for the daily. But meta bonding is a way of supporting the whole ecosystem. So you may not be getting as much for the staking right now, but essentially what you're doing is you're providing a cushion in the ecosystem, allowing them to build, and essentially you are becoming part of the launch pad of making that happen. And I know there's a whole lot more details into it, but I think people were just thinking, oh, meta bonding, and like, oh, this will be like a hyper speed staking and stuff like that, and not truly understanding what it was. And I felt like it was a responsibility of me to somewhat bring it up, because I did bring up the meta bonding about, hey, this just went active before a bunch of information had went out, and people were jumping into it. And I don't think everybody was reading or really following what they were putting out about it. So I just wanted to just kind of brush the surface on it to maybe intrigue your brain to go and look a little bit deeper if you're just basing it off of just staking and meta bonding and just for the staking rewards versus what you're rewarding the ecosystem for.
That's the thing about staking and all of these things. They're very tricky because people, even if they do read the fine print about what they're doing, they don't understand it. And it kind of stops right there for them. So they still take a chance. It is totally different. And that's why when I do stake, I make sure that I know exactly the ramifications of staking, unstaking, rewards, and all of that sort. And some people, actually, I know a lot of people in the crypto space who are against staking in every aspect. They don't want to stake anything. Even if they're holding it for a long time, they just don't want to stake it. And I think a lot of that is the fear of actually not understanding staking or meta bonding or all this stuff you guys are doing with, the DAOs and everything else.
Definitely. I had brought up OSU Bucks, and then after that, and Kim had came up also. She put her hand down. I don't know if she meant to, but we'll go in that order.
Yes. Good evening, ladies. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yes, thank you. This is value-added information, so I just appreciate it. Some things, like you said, I'll still have to come up and learn because I definitely don't know what the meta bonding means. And I'm one that was a little scared of staking, so I'm just trying to get the fundamentals down. But I did have two questions. One, I didn't want to really backtrack to the nodes, but I did have one question about the polygon nodes for the strong. Do those eventually, the polygon, when they go down, do they completely disappear, or they just go down to a low rate of return? And number two is, if I just have like a few nodes and just starting off, and so maybe I've earned 2 or 3 strong, is there a value added point where it's, after wait till 10? I know you can claim whenever, but is there a value added point that after this amount of strong that you earn, that it's worth the gas fees?
Go ahead, Amelia. You opened your mic up.
That's what I was going to say.
As far as the polygon is concerned, they said that it will taper after you get your ROI, which is about 90 days, according to the 12.5 that you're getting a day. If you had a regular ETH, the ROI would be, I think, 101, 105 days or something like that. But with the polygon, it's like 90 because you're getting 12.5 a day. So they said after you make your ROI, goes down slowly but surely. They never said it's going to go to zero. From Oculus, can you paste that thing that you sent me the other day?
You know what? I've been trying to post tweets in here all freaking night, but I can't. It won't let me share. So everything you guys have been talking about, I've been trying to share it in here. The DAG miners and all that. It's not letting me, but I have been retweeting them on my page. So
got you. But as far as the poly, as of right now, it's not going to zero. It's after you get your return on investment, it matches what the ETH ones are paying, which is 0.09112 or whatever. And then from there, they said for years to come, it will taper off slowly, but they never said it would go to complete zero.
Okay, and
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
All right, and then claiming, what's the best? I heard your strategy of 12, but again, I just have too strong right now, and I didn't know when I should start claiming.
To make your third one?
No, I just have 2 just stronger tokens right now. I just started.
Oh, okay.
I think what she's asking, Amelie, is kind of like your strategy that you were telling us about when she should claim to make another one, I think is what she's going off of.
Oh, got you. Well, the price is going up right now. So, and since you're at 2, and you only have what, 1 node to be exact?
No, I have 3 nodes total. I have 2 ETH and 1 Polygon now.
Got you.
I only have 2 strong. I've only earned, I should say, 2 tokens.
Got you. Okay, so as far as the claiming is concerned, like I said, my strategy was usually instead of doing it at 10 and coming out your pocket to have ETH to claim and to create another one, I usually wait till I have 12 reward, like 12 instead of 10 or 13 or whatever, because what's going to happen is now when you claim, you have the 10 to make your new node, but you have 3 left over, and you can always convert that back to Ethereum or whatever and pay yourself back for that, for what you came out your pocket initially for to claim. So this, it's up to you. You can wait till you get to 12. You can wait till you get to 15. Because right now the price is low. See, when I got in last September, so when I got in, strong was over $500 a token. So all you had to do really is just wait till you had 1 extra one, which is your 11th, and your 11th would cover your claiming and your gas, and still you would have enough money to play with, to put in your pocket or whatever. But because the price is under $100 right now, it will probably take you a few of them, maybe 3 or 4, to be able to kind of like break even on what you're spending. So, it's hard to tell right now because it's actually strong is actually trending up right now. So by the time you get to your 10 and 12, it could be $150 a token by then, or it could be lower. So I would just wait till you get around 10, and then from there you will make a better decision to know, okay, you know what, I got 10, the price is, let's say, $170 right now, so I'm just gonna wait till I get to 12 and now to cover everything. So it's all to be determined on how you want to play it.
Okay, perfect. And then also on Oculus and Thymeless, thank you for sending out that that Twitter article on the Etherscan. And so I'm trying to go over learning how to read an Etherscan. And I was wondering if you can tell without having to go into each individual one, is there a way that I can find out like all the gas fees that I spent in one click?
I don't believe so, because well, for me, I don't go in there. I have my crypto book. OV might have it a separate way. That was that crypto book that I was talking about, and I write it down as my transactions as I go.
Well, you can actually, I don't know if you can do this now, but I remember at one point you can actually create an account, I guess, on Etherscan. You can actually log in and everything, and it shows you all your transactions. But I mean, if you're looking for one click, I mean, it's possible because I have that. Like, if I'm only using one wallet, I mean, that's the thing. When I was using my Ether wallet, I could always go see every transaction and how much gas I spent using my Ether wallet. But then when I started using another wallet, it's one click. I'm not sure about one click. Like, you just want like this whole like layout of actually how much you spent in ETH gas. I mean, that's why when I'm actually doing a transaction, I write it down.
Okay.
When it's when I'm actually doing it, I'm writing exactly how much it cost or what's going on. That's how I've been able to keep track all these years. That's because I kind of trust actually what I write down a little more than what I see. So keeping a book and a log of things, because I used to do that at one point, but I'm telling you right now, if you're trying to keep track of how much gas you spend every time, you're going to wear yourself out and you're not going to keep up with it. It's just too much, especially if you're doing a lot of transactions.
Okay.
I think the thing is too, I don't know if you're using MetaMask or if you're using Trust Wallet, but for me, the most comfortable time to do any transaction is 3 a.m. my time, and I'm on the Eastern Seaboard, so I'm Eastern. So 3 a.m. my time, everything goes down. There's only been a few instances where like gas is still like crazy at 3 a.m. my time. and it's only been like special situations, but at the end of the day, the best time to do anything is 3 a.m. and you're going to get your low fees. So that's kind of how you can figure out how much you're spending if you do it at the same time. And now I know everybody's not up at 3 a.m., but that's why when I was doing this, I used to set alarms and I would actually get up out of my bed at 3 a.m. to do transactions while I was sleeping. So it all depends on, your devotion to not paying so much in ETH fees. But I actually wanted to go back to what about claiming rewards for Strong. I think a lot of people don't use the kind of jargon that David Moss and the Strong team uses when they talk about getting your ROI back. And your ROI is your return on investment. They always speak in terms of 10 strong. They never speak of how much it costs at the time or how much it's going to be. They always say you get your return on investment in the form of 10 tokens. That's it. It's not the price it was. If you bought them at $440 per token and now it's down to $50, that's not how the Strong team works. And I've been noticing that because you're actually investing 10 tokens to get a node. So if you get 10 tokens back in 110 days or 90 days, if you get 10 tokens back after investing 10 in that time period, that's your ROI. Now, is the price going to be the same when you bought in? Of course not. But I'm trying to get people away from like, I didn't get back I bought Strong at $400 or I bought Strong at $200 and, I didn't get my ROI back. You actually did, because to them, your ROI is only 10 tokens. And I see that they're trying to get you away from looking at the price. So just be mindful of that when you're trying to get your money back. You're going to have to like really fine tooth comb how much you actually spent. And it may take you a few times to get your ROI back because the price is fluctuating. You know, it's not the same every day.
Definitely. I agree with that. All across the board. And that's important for us to keep in our brain while we're writing or we're doing Excel spreadsheets and things of that nature of tracking our transactions and what we're doing and what a return on investment is for us. So I think that that is very wise to start getting into. And also, if you have questions about gas and what they are, and if somebody's not around to try to help you look it up, in the Telegram, we have the gas bot too. And you put backslash and you start writing gas, something will pop up so you don't have to remember it all. You click it and it will pop up and let you know what the gas is for fast, medium, and slow.
Excellent information.
No problem. I see you, Kim. What's going on?
Yeah, just to piggyback off of this Strong and the DAG. For Strong, I don't know how everybody else was, but for me, when I first got into Strong, I mean, you know, every 10 tokens, I wanted to build a node because I wanted to get up there to the point where I'm getting so many tokens per month. And so I've gotten there at this point. Yeah, I ain't gonna never get my ROI back, but I've gotten there at this point. So that's why I'm even at the point where I asked, you know, if I just keep them until the end of the month and do them all at one time, will it, you know, does it save me on gas? Because when you have 1, 2, or 3 nodes, you're only getting what 0.3 per day. So it's taking you a good while to get to, you know, 4 or 5 or 6. But once you get up to 10, 11, 12, you start rolling. And so I've gotten to the point now. And I'm saying this to OSU.
Yeah, OSU Bucks.
OSU Bucks. Okay. Yeah, I'm saying this to you because you were asking about when is the best time. So I'm just giving you another, let's say, perspective on, you know, how I was, because I was anxious to keep building. So every 10 tokens, it might be 9 or 8 tokens, and I just buy 2 more because I couldn't sit around and wait for, you know, those other 2 tokens. Let me go ahead and get another node going, you know. But so now that I'm at a certain amount of tokens, now I'm good with it, you know, waiting 30 days and doing them all at one time, you know, because at that point, if I'm getting 45 tokens, I'm gonna be building 4 nodes right then. I'm gonna be paying, you know, gas and everything. You know, but anyway, so that's just how I would look at it. And I was just gonna say to Millie about the DAG. You know, you guys ever read those articles, like those Fortune 500 articles where the person did something absolutely crazy because they had a goal in mind? And I was saying to myself, well, you know, maybe it'd be the time to go be a manager at McDonald's, put your DAG miner there, you know, and when somebody cuss you out talking about, you know, you're just a manager at McDonald's, you just smile, be like, yeah, but I'm making a lot of money, a lot more than McDonald's paying me.
Yeah. Go ahead, Amelie. What's up?
Now I was gonna ask Thymeless. So how about them Katana nodes?
If they don't get the hell up out of here, coming back from the Lord.
Hey, I offered you nodes.
I know, but that's why I put it under Ameli's damn post, like, they just ate my nodes for a snack. Like, where the hell? And how do they keep just coming back? Oh, we was gone. Oh, we're here again. Oh, we're gone. Oh, we're here again. If you don't get somewhere and sit down, they need a whooping. That's what they
Those
need.
those NFT, that NFT they have posted looks all right though. I will say that. So
Oh
we
man,
gonna
they
I
doing like
wouldn't
the
pull it up
ultimate
to look
rug.
at it
Come
though.
on,
we
they
gonna see
doing
what
like
happens tomorrow.
yo, they doing like the ultimate rug. I've never seen somebody to rug people like 7 times. They just keep coming back. Like, yeah, we back again. We back again. I mean, come on.
Right. And now I laugh because I mean I was frustrated at first because let's be clear. I went out on a limb and Katana was my very first node project that I was going to try because it was affordable, trying to compound those up to get to my strong. And if I would have took those tokens when it pumped right before I made those nodes, I could have made $700 off of them real quick. And then I flipped them into, I think I started, I believe Cap, I did 4, then you guys all came back in and did 4. And Cap and maybe Strap were the only 2 that I know of that were able to keep their stupid ass fucking nodes. I didn't get mine. And I went in there and then I even tried to hit them up, even when I knew it was a rug, like, hey, what about my nodes? Yeah, they won't talk to me. I mean, they could just give it to me as a novelty, fucking jerks.
They took your shit.
Man, they took my shit and ate it like it was fucking a snack. Like, they didn't even care. And I was like, I even did that whole first migration. I didn't even take advantage of the arbitrage that was going on. I was doing it nice so they could see it on the blockchain that I wasn't scamming their own project, blah, blah, blah. And then I fucking committed suicide on their goddamn knife.
She did some Last Samurai stuff with it. That was
Yeah,
corny.
fucking
You know, when
jerk.
they started talking about like samurai stuff, I was like, come on, man.
Seppuku? What was it? Seppuku?
Aloha,
Yeah,
samurais.
right. First it was Aloha, and then it was Kabuku or whatever the fuck. Man, fuck you.
Or Kamikaze? I don't remember.
No, it was Sabuku or not Sabuku. It was something like that though. And then when you go to look it up,
Yeah,
it is,
seppuku.
yeah, it was the art of a warrior killing themselves on their own blade for bravery or some shit, so nobody else could kill them, type of shit. And I guess I did it. They took mine, jerks.
Imagine if it moons again.
Then, man,
I'll be happy.
if it moons again, yo, man, I need their samurai sword and going to find them.
I got about 20 of them now, so I'll be happy, but I'm not counting on nothing.
I got 80 of them. No, I have 89 of them, but I only paid like $130 for all of that because them shits was literally like pennies, you know. So I mean, I can definitely afford to lose $130. So I'll just ride it out to eternity, you know. And that's the thing. Like like while I'm on Twitter, I keep seeing all of these FUD tweets about strong and just nodes in general going to zero. And I be wanting to say so badly, Katana is not even zero. And it's a total rug and it's still worth something. So you actually think any of these other nodes you actually think strong is gonna go to zero? People really believe strong is gonna go to zero. But you have
Yeah.
Katana still floating around with no type of utility whatsoever, and it's still worth. I'm still making about maybe $1.20 a day or something off of it, you know. So
What the hell are you doing doing $1.20? You can't even buy a slice of pizza with that here.
listen, you just never know. Well, listen, if it moons, I got 89 nodes.
If it
If it
moves,
decides to go to $5 or something,
yo,
so
if it moves, you get a whole pizza pie, cuz.
But I don't even know how it's going to moon because I don't, man, unless they get these new investors that don't know anything and think that this is a new project. But man, I am baffled that they're back. Like when you tagged me and I opened it up and seen what post that was in there, I was like, I'll be goddamn. Like, where the hell did y'all come from? Again,
hit your comment too.
again.
By the way, they hid your comment.
Oh,
Yo!
I'm gonna go back. If they hit my comment, I'm going back.
Yo, Thymeless, you
Jerk.
being silenced.
Man, fuck them.
How do you say silence in Japanese? Funfufulu, some
Fuck
shit? I don't know. Yo, that's funny. See? So they basically just took your nose then, huh?
Yeah, they were my first rug. I officially got rugged through them. I think it's real funny that Cap and I pretty much were identical in how we set ours up. And
Yep.
I had done it first because he was out and running around. And I was like, well, you know what? I said, screw it. And I made 3 more. Because at first we just did the one. And when he got home, he was like, oh, no, you're not just going to get that. And so, of course, it was that little battle back and forth because they were cheap. And he said, nope, I'm going to do the same as you. And Strap did the same thing. And I believe Strap still has his, but I know for a fact Cap still has his. And
Oh yeah.
so I just don't understand, like, how that even transpired to the fact that, where's mine? Like, it doesn't really matter. It's gone to me anyway, but I would like to have an answer. Where's mine?
Yeah, they took your shit.
I got sent the wrong nodes too. They sent me the higher tier. I had like I think it was the lowest tier at the time. And after the migration, they sent me one of the lowest tiers and one of the highest tiers. Like I wasn't supposed to get that.
Yeah,
You
somebody's over
supposed
there.
to get that.
Somebody's over there smoking on the bone. For real, man. Crazy.
Jerks. And they hid my shit. Hold on, let me go look.
Yeah, I can't see it on my thread. Your comment is hidden.
Oh, they trying to silence you, Thymeless. They said that you're actually bad advertisement for their project because they're making a comeback. So
they were the bad advertisement from the second, third time they slow rugged. I don't understand. Fuck them.
Speaking of rugs, you were in that space earlier, right? Talking about auditing, right? And we were talking about Assure DeFi, right?
Yes.
And they're an audit company, right? Because I haven't,
Well, they're technically
a
KYC project.
Also know your customer.
Yes. So essentially what their job criteria was when they started was that they were a KYC so that a non-project members could KYC themselves to a third party to try to hold them, quote unquote, accountable and not have to dox themselves to the public. And that's essentially where that started.
So they don't actually audit any of these contracts or projects, is what you're telling me?
No, they absolutely do not. They did just take on Quill code auditing, and he was dancing around that today while I was still in there. So
wait a minute. I have to cut you off here. So you mean to tell me that all they're doing is basically providing an address, a name, and a photo for these projects? They're not actually picking at the contracts like QuanStamp does, like Certec does. Are they actually? Is that what you're telling me?
No, they're not doing that. Yeah.
So let me ask you. So then, what the fuck are they good for then? I mean, I can show you my address. What you gonna do? You gonna come see me?
Exactly.
Like, what
and
the
that
fuck?
Was the point in this because they want to say that they can hold people accountable and do this or do whatever. And this is the reason I do not like KYC for them. Right. And especially Assure because they're fluffing their own feathers, making themselves look bigger and badder than they are when they're not even doing the things. Well, now they brought on the parts where now they have a code auditor and now they have a law firm. So they're going to help them in making a report. But then they say, we'll generate this fraud report for you to take to the appropriate entities. But the end of the day is they're not even telling you where these people are. So, am I going to call the FBI and these motherfuckers are in France? So that's really that was the convoluted thing. And that is man, I wish I had more time and I would have had more questions. but he talked so long and around it that I was eating up everybody else's time.
You know what? That's why I say, you know what, if you actually are content with using certain people and their strategies to tell you that a project is this or that, then that's on you. But as I said before, I already know who I trust when it comes to things like audits and in telling me about the people or telling me about the project. I mean, if you're not actually, so I mean, because, but as I said, every investor is different. That's just something that, put it like this: I'm not going to invest in any projects that they basically KYC. That's just me, and I haven't. Anything they've been doing, I stayed away from. I'm not going to, because for me personally, I just don't feel like what they do is significant enough for me to put my money down into what they do. So, you know, maybe in the future they'll show me something different. But for right now, I'm good on them. You know, but anybody else who gets into them, that's, you know,
They're not going to show
congratulations.
you anything different, Obi. They even tried to say today that they have a better gold standard than Certic now that Certic is going to be doing a KYC. So at the end of the day, they're trash. I still think they're trash. They're burning dumpster trash, and that's not going to change for me. I did see DeFi raise his hand while you were talking too about that.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say it was really disappointing to see that they don't actively monitor projects. Like I was honestly shocked by that. I was like, isn't this like obviously the kind of thing that you would do as the gold standard in the space? Like, and then I don't know, trying to say that like, well, we don't get paid for that. Well, then change your freaking contracts to say like, these projects are going to pay us on an ongoing basis to actively monitor them. I don't know. It was just,
but that was a way
very
for them
disappointing
to keep their numbers down. You've seen that he straight faced told us he had what, 10 to 20 rug projects underneath him. And I know for a fact, and I will say this to our community because I did the research and so did Wolf alongside of me. The first 10 of their projects was a 80% fail rate. The first 20 projects that they KYC'd was a 93% fail rate. So already he lied about that. And the reason why he was able to say we're not going to monitor it, because he said it was up to the investors to let them know one of their projects they KYC'd had rugged, and then they have to fill out their fraud report form. So that was a way of saving their ass and their numbers.
Yes, what did he say? The investor has to report the damage, not them.
Yes.
Well, like I said, if you as the investor is actually content with what they provide as a means to show something is legit, then that's on you. But they're actually, I mean, they actually said it themselves tonight. You know, you can dox anybody you want to. You know, people just do it because it's like a thrill. So yeah, he actually kind of said to me that that's really, if all you do is that, what the modern day person can do is like put somebody's address or find out their real name and all that. If that's all you do, then what makes you special? So if they kind of said that to me tonight to myself, so why should I like look at you as some kind of source, which I never have though. So yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of it when they first came out. I somewhat like the idea of some kind of accountability and another route of approach. But what I soon started finding out for myself, that wasn't there. And it was more of a hype man. And I truly did dig into them. I pulled a lot of skeletons. And when it comes to them, they don't have an up and up business model. And when they were just trying to walk around the questions in there tonight, and I can't wait to go back and listen, because the person I was waiting on the most to hear was Wolf, because Wolf and I sat side by side in a chat and did a lot of research. So, and Trader's here. He's done some research with us also.
What's going on? What's going on? It's so honestly, shout out to obviously you and Oculus. Hope everyone's. I think everyone's gonna come over. It was a really great chat. Not gonna lie, the recording it'll be really nice. I honestly think he was very humbled actually, and we made it a point to drive home our points that we talked about. So I guess we'll see what kind of change, and then obviously we'll reach out to you as well, and then we'll all deliberate together and see what the next steps are. But it's late for me. It's almost 7 a.m, so I'm going to bed. I just wanted to come and give you your flowers for being amazing as usual.
Thank you, Trader. I appreciate the work that you did beside us also. So, yeah, that was great. I know it's super late. You need to go get some sleep.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate you as always. I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow.
All right, later, Trader.
Later.
Later.
So yeah, that just kind of went back to what I was saying is we pulled out a lot of skeletons. We pulled out a lot of poor business practices. And what he was trying to do in the beginning of that was roll that onto the investor. It's the investor's fault. They need to do this. They need to do that. But as your business model, it wasn't about what they needed to do. It's what are you going to do?
But you know what? It's like this playing devil's advocate. What do you expect them to do just because someone gave an address or provided ID or you can look them up? I mean, in order to get, people involved, like, regulators and all these other people like the SEC and things of that sort, that's going to take money. So I think their whole idea is making you aware of this and that, and they expect you to do the legwork, which is not actually far-fetched, because if you are given the name of your offender and you do nothing with it, then it's like, so what do you expect them to do? That's why I'm saying, like, if you're going to use them as your means of legitimacy, then you're going to have to actually ask yourself, what's the pros and cons of using them? And I do that with everybody, So that is some things are up to the investor as investors. And if you're spending your money, you're going to have to, do a little bit more due diligence, and you can't always look for somebody to rescue you because you made a bad decision.
True, but you don't have a business model then. And if you don't have if that is your business model and you're not following down to any of these avenues that you say you're going to do, and you don't even track your own freaking numbers, if you don't track your own numbers, then what are you good for anyway? I know I already feel a certain kind of way about them, but there are people that are going to let golden glittery letters dictate to them that this is a good company and maybe I should listen or I should pay attention. But yet what you're also doing is you're giving more marketing to some of these bad actors that they wouldn't have had any other way, or people wouldn't have even seen their name if it wasn't for a big platform like that.
Absolutely. You are responsible for certain things. I mean, I don't even have as many followers as these people, and I make sure I'm careful with what I tweet, because I don't want to influence anybody to do anything. So yeah, if you have 20,000 followers or 13 or 11,000 followers and you tweet just something about a project, or even you reply to it, because people are smart on Twitter, they can even go to your tweets and replies and see what you're talking about, because people have done it to me. People that I don't even follow actually seen a tweet that I made to somebody. So you do have to be careful, but I mean, I think you as the investor also have to be mindful of what you're getting into, even if somebody tweets it or talks about it. I mean, I'm not buying Floyd NFTs. I'm not buying anything. I'm not buying anything Lindsay fucking Lohan tweeted. I watch a lot of trash reality TV, and I'm still not buying anything Kim Kardashian that tweeted about cryptocurrency. So we have to take a little bit responsibility for what we actually put our money into.
Oh, definitely that. I think DeFi threw his hand up, so we'll go DeFi, then Wolf came up, and then Brass.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That at the end of the day, the buck has to stop with us. Otherwise, what the hell are we doing? But there's also I think to make their business a little more legitimate, they probably could put together the legal team that could represent the plaintiffs that that they identify in whatever jurisdictions that are offended, right? So they identify the projects, they actively manage all of the projects that they, KYC. They put a notification out to the community if they end up finding some impropriety. They let the community know that, hey, if you're in this jurisdiction and want to act as a plaintiff, then here is what you can do. And then they provide the legal counsel to do that. Like, otherwise, like, what the hell is your, or like, they provide the legal resources to actually go forward with it, right? Because, like, otherwise,
But
what the
guess
hell is your
what,
company doing?
DeFi, their job is not for the investor. He wanted to say that tonight, but their job is to KYC people in the project. And then it's up to the investor to fill out a report for them to look into. Their legal team is only there to support them. It's not anything about any investor.
Shake my head.
Right. What's up, Wolf? What's up, Brass?
What's up, ladies? What's
going on?
What's up?
Oh my god. 3.5, like 3.5 hours of just straight talking.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back and listen.
And we Deeks at the end there, we made sure to mention your guys' live space. So a bunch of us came over here that were still up and willing to, come over because we love what y'all do. Nothing but respect. But yeah, tonight was interesting. I don't know if you guys, I know Thymeless, she spoke her fire as usual. OV, not sure if you were there or not. I was hyping myself up in the background, slapping myself a little bit, trying to get ready to go.
I was there.
Because I had so much more written down, but I got like 95% of it off, which was good. But what did you guys think?
I think it was going well. I had hit up Deeks. I really wanted to hear Wolf with my own ears and not on recording because of how we both did our research. And he was talking so much that I couldn't rebuttal anything that he said. So I had my questions, and then after he answered it, I was like, okay, well, I have to move on. I'm sure somebody will touch on that. So that part, I was like, damn it, I really wanted to say more. But he was dancing. He was dancing and walking around all the points. I can't wait to go back and hear your guys, the rest of it, for sure, because like I was telling Deeks, I told him before I left, I was like, he's doing a lot of talking, but he doesn't have a lot of substance.
Yeah. I want to thank Kim for coming. I say Kim down there. I just saw she recently followed me, but I saw her come up and speak, and I thought that was pretty awesome. So I appreciate that. Something too, that I thought was funny is he said something about only receiving 25% reports, or 25 emails, and then some of them weren't even legit or whatever. But when I threw out that number, I think we kind of skidded over it a little too fast. When I said I went through and did the research, and I found over 50% plus of their KYCs are either rugged, have been hacked, exploited, or inactive. And I went by, so, and that's out of, I think they're up to 298 or 299 NFTs. I ended at 295, and I gave a bunch of room for error. The actual number I got was between 60 to 64%, but I wanted to be nice. So I just said 50% and more or plus, just to give it extra room for error. But that kind of got skidded over a little too quick, in my opinion, because I didn't really get to hear other than him saying, well, that's a good number because of let's look at the broad market, and realistically we're looking at we shouldn't be looking at the broad market, in my opinion. But
no, we shouldn't be looking at the broad market. And right before you guys tuned in here, I had just went over your statistics. Off the first 10 was 80% fail rate, and the first 20 was 93% fail rate.
Yeah. So when I did their first 10 KYC companies, out of those 10, 80% were actually officially rugs. So they had a 20% pass rate within the first 10. But then obviously as you go through and you get the new numbers coming out and everything, and then you actually go through and average it all out, for all the like 299 NFTs, and there was a couple, I think 3 duplicates. So I took those out for the error measurement. Yeah, it's just quite interesting. I'm not gonna send him shit, to be honest with you, because he said some stupid douchebag comment at the end, but the bourbon was talking.
Oh, what did he say? Please tell
I
me.
was holding my
Please
daughter and
tell
trying
me.
to put her to sleep, and he said, "Please keep her quiet." Because I said, "Oh, I'm trying to get my daughter to sleep," and whatever. And they said, "Please try to keep her quiet," or whatever. I was like, "Get the fuck out." I was like, oh, anyways, so I moved on. But whatever, it is what it is.
I heard him clanking fucking ice and doors and okay, let's see.
Oh, he must have got maybe he said he was gonna be drinking, so maybe he was getting a little agitated because he was drinking. Yo, Deeks, come on the mic.
Yeah, no, I definitely heard that comment, and I just loved how Wolf was like, yeah. So, anyways, I knew Wolf wouldn't appreciate that. I mean, I could say that shit to Wolf, and Wolf would be like, "Yeah, fuck you, Deeks. D's nuts, motherfucker." But long and short, if you want my conception of from the start to finish, definitely Timeless. I agree with you. I think you got unloaded on with him trying to get everything out that he could, right? You were one of the first up there. He wanted to get it all out and right, and he wasn't even drunk yet. Okay, now look, I'm a heavy drinker. We all know this, so I'm not gonna hate on the guy for having a bourbon. I think he might have needed the fucking bourbon by the end of the night, to be honest. But one thing I just told the group that made me laugh was he told me, he goes, just a warning before this ever happened. He goes, just a warning. My mission is to turn critics and haters into friends and advocates. And what we did in that chat, I'll tell you right now, is we turned him into our fucking advocate. Okay? Lightly said. I really think we did. I think by the end of it, it was like chipping away at a big block of ice, just chipping away and chipping away and chipping away and chipping away. Because at the beginning, I don't know if you guys were counting. I lost count, but there was a lot of we are the best in the world in what we do. We are the best in what we do. We are the best. We are the best. We are the best. And by the end of it, he was saying, you know what? That's a good point. Yes, I understand. Yes, you know what? Thank you for that constructive criticism. Yes, 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 and that's what I got from it.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, nobody's perfect. We're not perfect. La la la. And the other one thing I'll say is that you had him say one figure to Brass, and then by the time he got broken down a little bit further, because he was just taking all the heat, he gave it the real spiel to Wolf, and it was a totally different number, about 40% different. So, I mean, there was things that maybe he thought that weren't being caught, but we were all talking in our group chat. We were all picking out the differences and just watching the decay happen, right? So, I mean, I'll say this: I'm a good judge of character. Now, setting him aside from his business and what he does, I think he's decent to talk to. Okay, now his blanketing of his project, I don't fully admire. Do I think that maybe he really does need people like all of us to maybe be his fucking team? In all honesty, he needs good people to do this or to achieve this project or this goal that he's trying to achieve, and he's not achieving it by the way that he's working within or like I asked him about loopholes. He's operating within loopholes. He didn't want to say yes, but he said yes. And the whole thing is, if you're operating within the loopholes and you are catching a quick bunch of cash just to get ahead, and really your goal is not being met right now, it's not even close to being met. Like he has a lot of fucking work to do, and he just didn't want to admit what we were trying to tell him. That's all.
For sure. I can't wait to go back in here. I don't know who it was Dingo or Shay first, so you gentlemen get to have your own duel.
It was Shay.
Thank you, Dingo. You're so courteous.
You'd beat up Dingo anyway.
I want to go to Australia just so I can meet people that just sound like that every day, all day.
We're not that great, bro.
Do y'all drink bourbon?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. You're good in my book. I just want to say, like, first off, everyone knows I'm new to the space and even newer to the CU, but like the Deeks, you hit it the nail on the head, man. Like the chipping away, like he started out that gold standard, and as soon as everybody started talking, and they would say something like, "You say you're the gold standard, but X, Y, Z," he started backtracking, and it was exactly what you said. It wasn't him flipping us; it was y'all or that whole space flipping him. And it was so cool to listen to. I will say this: I think it was Wolf. Are you the one with the daughter?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I'm not going to send him a bottle because I didn't realize he said keep her quiet or anything like that, man. I was appreciative of his insight because I was extremely as a noob. I wanted to make sure, hey, man, like I'm holding you accountable for my mistakes, and maybe I should to an extent, but also I did realize that, hey, I'm the one that clicks the fucking button that says create the node, or I'm the one that clicks the button that says buy this coin, you know? So it does start with me and paying attention, you know? It's my fault that Star made it to 50 and now it's at 30 cents and I'm in the hole, you know what I'm saying? Like they ain't KYC assured, you know what I'm saying? I should have paid attention, but I just wanted to say I appreciate the this is my third Twitter space with y'all, and the learning curve is just insane. It's like a crash course in college, like no electives, all majors, you know. I appreciate it.
Definitely. And that's what these spaces are for. Between Crypto Underground and ours, OV and I had a very clear mission of what ours was. We wanted to give back to the community. There's so much information that's around in so many people's heads, while there's still always going to be new investors that need a place to go, to be able to, a safe place to ask questions, to talk about ideas and things like that. And that's why I'm very appreciative of Crypto Underground as well. And I know OV will say a little bit on that also, because that is the biggest point in building these communities. Is it's teach or learn one, teach one, so that you're just sharing information and nobody's just high wall.
Absolutely. And Oculus, I haven't met you yet, but I talked to Thymeless, probably 3 hours the other night, Thymeless. Remind me, if I ever forget, remind me to never ever get on your bad side, because you're a force.
Yeah, I don't play games. We're adults. You guys out here and women out here have children. You've raised them. They're teenagers. I don't mince words with adults. I'm too old for that, and I like to give it to you straight, so you know exactly where I come from. I'm fair, but I'm stern, and I like to say that about me. As long as you don't try to, be a little smart ass and stuff, we're good, because I respect you if you respect me. But no, it's not even about getting on my bad side. It's just that, that's just how I move in this space. And being a woman, I have to move a certain kind of way. So I am a little bit more firm with my words, because this is a space dominated by men. That's why I make sure that, you will respect me in Thomas's space. And there's no going to be no discussion about that. You don't respect this, I'll kick you out. That's how it is with me.
Absolutely. And there is a difference. And as you move around in this space, you will definitely see that you either have women that wants to sell sex for crypto, or when you are trying to do stuff and teach people and learn things and invest properly in all the check marks, you will see that people try to come at you real funny as a female.
Can I jump in before anybody else? Because the only thing I wanted to say there was, I see other hands up. Is just he made a comment tonight about so you guys actually associate with real women in crypto, and so what he was pertaining to or alluding to was the fact of what you guys are saying, right? So I just want to bring it up because just as you're saying that, he actually brought that up, that there's so many fake profile pictures of women that are actually probably dudes with, pot bellies and shit, just and whatnot. So it is really important to have, really predominant figures in the crypto space like you guys.
Thank you, Deeks. And
thanks, Deeks.
That's exactly why we did this. Exactly. We got some hands up, Thomas. We got
yes, it went from Dingo to Brass to Chris. If I believe
That's
I
it.
wrote that
You
down
got it right,
correctly.
Timeless. You got it right, Timeless. So yeah, I just want to I'll be quick here. If anyone doesn't know this, I'm just going to say this first and foremost before I get to my next point. Wolf is like one of my absolute favorite people, not just in Crypto Underground, but in the world of people I've met. Like if you don't know Wolf and you haven't taken the time to get to know him, you're really missing out. He's a bit of a recluse kind of dude anyway, so you gotta kind of charm the wolf out of his den. But I love the dude to death. He's a gem in this space. He's got a wealth of knowledge. He trumps anything that I know in security, and I thought I knew a lot. A lot of the stuff that he talks about in terms of on Discord and stuff is stuff that I know, but the stuff that he knows that he doesn't share on Discord, I can guarantee you don't. But I just wanted to make the note, make the point that
Brian, mute your mic.
I think that that the comment he made, the comment that the guy made towards Wolf and his kid, it took me back to like a guy I knew that came into like a crew that I was like, I grew up with, and he was like just this random guy that started hanging around. Mm-hmm. And there was a guy, a friend of mine, his last name was Fagel, and it was pronounced Fagel, but this guy thought it'd be funny because he thought he got too comfortable, right? He thought he was one of the guys, and he goes, "Oh, Fagel, is that how you saying him? Fagel?" Trying to make fun of him, trying to make the association with the word fag and Fagel, and all the guys just looked at each other like, "This guy can't be serious, man. Like he's got either balls of steel or a brain the size of a piece of rice." You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's kind of what happened with Old Mate. I think we disarmed him so much that he got so comfortable that he thought he'd be funny by saying, "Oh yeah, make sure you keep it quiet." I don't think he was trying to be like, serious in any way possible. I think he thought he was funny, like he was trying to crack a joke and be like friendly on that level. But it's like, dude, we just had a spaces chat after talking shit through text. You know what I mean? Like, we don't get cozy with people so quickly. Oh, at least I don't. Shit, I don't know about anybody else in the room. So yeah, I just wanted to make that note, just let it be known, because I know I heard Wolf. As soon as I heard Wolf be like, yeah, well, whatever. Anyway, you know what I mean? I was just like, yeah, you didn't fucking land that joke, mate. Not fucking one bit. But anyway, I'll pass.
It's back to reading the room. People need to read the goddamn room. And you were there. He was there on a business standpoint of his own self, and we were there to ask questions and hold your feet to the fire. So yeah, you might have been able to pop off different types of jokes during that, but those type of jokes probably should have stayed away from. What do you got for us, Brass?
What up? Glad to be in the space.
What up, Brass?
What's going on?
You guys are killing it. Oculus, Thymeless, appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Just the whole chat tonight was just hilarious, Like I picked up on a little Wolf comment before that shit. It's like Wolf kind of missed something because of the daughter, and then right after that he kind of said like, "Oh, yo, I didn't catch that. Repeat the question." I was checking some messages, so instantly I saw that. I was like an instant like backhanded comment. Also, just like at first, like I called him out on that whatever number bullshit he threw out. I was like, "Yo, I bet you it's like 3-4 times that." And he kind of like let me have it for that, blah blah blah. And then that was almost a layup for me because I knew what Wolf was coming with later. Then Wolf broke it down to 50%, and they didn't even say shit. I was like, "Yo, these guys are they're doing the least they can possible. They got a good idea, they can execute it. There's a lot more that needs to be done, but like they're doing the least possible, man." I think we destroyed it tonight. It's hilarious.
Definitely, because I had asked that in that very first question was, how many projects do you have and how many of them are rugged? He brushed that one off, but I didn't double down on that one because I knew you had a similar question, but I knew Wolf could follow up on it. And I just respect y'all and care about y'all. And I thank you guys for allowing me to be up there, even though I couldn't be there the whole time. I am going back to listen. I think it was a conversation that needed to be had, and I can't wait to hear the rest of it.
Thomas, I just wanted to jump in real quickly to back on what Lord just said. The funniest shit I heard all night was when he said, so the message I'm getting is we need to work on our marketing, but you can't expect our marketing team to do it by themselves. And I'm like, well, who the fuck are you going to expect to do it? You know what I mean? Like,
I heard that shit too.
if your marketing team can't do it by themselves, you need to get another marketing team, mate. Like, that's their job, So that was pretty telling to me in terms of like, I think what Lord said is potentially very accurate. But hey, we can only speculate, right?
It kind of sounds like from what you guys are saying, because I wasn't there for an hour and like 25 minutes because I had to get off and start to space. It kind of sounds like a good idea, maybe for some people, not for me though, because I need more from you if you're going to actually, say a project is legit. But for some people, what they're doing is okay, and I think that what you guys did was kind of just like show them that some of what you do is not okay for everybody. So, maybe they'll fix what they need to fix. I don't know. But as I said to Thymeless before you guys actually joined, that I'm not hopping into anything they fucking KYC. I'm good on that. I'm pretty good on that. But, what's good for somebody else is basically not good for me. But yeah, I can't wait to listen to the space after we're done with this.
Well, that's kind of what we were alluding to the other day, Oculus. We were just sort of saying, it's funny how they sort of marketed themselves and promoted themselves as an entity that is, a beacon of light to, show this is where you should, you're good here. These guys are trustworthy with KYC. And when in fact, it's actually done the opposite. Like it's become a beacon of light of, okay, get the F out of Dodge, go the other way, So anyway, I'll shut up now. I'll let Chris have his spot in the spotlight.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris. What do you got for us?
Yeah, so like I kind of like summed it up a bit because I'm not on the technical side of this thing, but the reality is and I guess it's cool to have both spaces kind of in here at the same time. Like he clashes with us because his intentions aren't the same as what our missions are. So like regardless of whatever answers he gives, his purpose is an intent, and his intention is not necessarily to help people because they want to, but by whatever means necessary may be. As far as his grading system goes, I kind of looked at it like a grading system is no different than like a diamond. So, they have like GIA certified diamonds, which is the highest and most strict graded company that there is out there. And they have like CSI and all these other certifications. And in one certification or verification, that stone can have excellent color, excellent cut, excellent clarity. And then you bring it to the strongest one and they tell you, well, the cut on it's poor. This is that. And that's kind of like where I'm at with them. Like I one thing that, I've learned a lot about crypto from all of you guys and stuff, but when it comes to like characteristic patterns and just listening to his voice and everything and hearing about the answers that he gives, obviously like, and then being around you guys, it makes it very easy to see someone's mission and what their intentions are and what they're trying to accomplish, versus like what you guys are trying to do. And that's why, like, when he came in there and he was all high and mighty, I don't think he really realized like who he was talking to. And, as a business person, I talk to people all the time. And I talk to people and I match their tone and I match their personality to the T. And I'm monotone. So I make sure to, let people know that, like, if I'm joking around because my voice doesn't change. So I sound the same. So no one really knows, like, what emotion I'm feeling. But, the idea behind what you're supposed to be doing is absorbing the information that we're giving you, agreeing with that, and seeing how you can implement it. Where, he thought that everyone that, was talking in there, had no knowledge of anything, no experience. But I think that, it was really awesome that, the group that I, became a part of with you guys and everything like that, was able to take someone there who's a CEO and basically just take everything that he did and just break it down piece by piece and put him in a position to where his true character was exposed. Because the reality is, all he was doing was deflecting one question onto another, or trying to figure something out.
Yeah, you know what? It's that's all about respecting your audience too, because Chris, you are one of the most monotone people I've ever spoken to in my life. It's like your voice stays the same. I'm a person, when I get excited, I can't hide it. But I always thought that was a skill. But that doesn't mean that you don't know anything and that you're not aware. But some people don't read the audience, and like you are right. I've been listening to you for about 4 or 5 weeks talk. I'm like, this is not an act. This guy really just talks like this. Okay. But you know what? You have to learn to respect your audience. And I always think that they're ignorant because of the way they sound or how they talk. And maybe that's something that he should also work on, because just listening to you say he came in there thinking nobody knew anything. And you know what? These are pretty knowledgeable people. So that's when it all comes about. Like I said, respecting your audience. That's why I try to respect everybody in my space, even if they don't say stuff the way I would say it. I mean, I still try to respect my audience.
Definitely. And I think a big part that came from that too is he didn't know the reason why I was coming first. He didn't know that I had a previous engagement and that I had to get out of there. And I really think that he tried to take that as I'm going to take advantage of this situation because this is a female in crypto and blah, 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 all the stereotypes you're going to hear. And I think he took a very nonchalant approach until he started hearing some of my questions. And then he started dancing.
Rambling. He was rambling. You know what it felt like to me, Thymeless, was it's like, this is what I want to avoid too, because when he DM'd me before this, he mentioned, yeah, we can open it up with like a discussion for like an hour and then we can get to questions. And I told him, not really. But then he goes, okay, yeah, it's your gig, whatever, this and that. So I kind of felt like when you started talking, like he just wanted to get everything out as much as he could about his company's entity, where he thought he was actually answering your fucking question.
And his V3 and all of this and all of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really wanted a rebuttal stance, but I really was trying to hang out I was wanting to hear Wolf live in my ear, because of the way we both were researching. And then even when we were all just kicking the shit, me and him would keep breaking in with research. And that's one thing of the conversations that I have with OV. We research. We love to research. So when you try to come and just talk about one thing and your mind is on one thing, you're going to be thrown off your whole keel because somebody knows how to talk and research, and they're trying to extract information.
Yeah. And
just quickly, I just want to jump in on that note. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's cool. I'm going to jump after you for the same shit.
That the way he was speaking to people, it almost sounded like, my impression was, it sounded like someone who was trying to imagine what he'd want to hear if he was trying to be convinced into something, if that makes any sense. Like, he was talking to people as if he was in their shoes. How am I going to convince this person to get to my side? And when anybody, whether it was myself, Wolf, Brass, Deeks, once we pinned him with like a hard-hitting question, you'd always hear him pause for like 3 or 4 seconds. When you listen back to the recording, pay attention to it. He pauses for like 3 or 4 seconds because he's like, I'm imagining. He's like, oh, shit. Okay. Right. Yeah. So anyway, and then he'll come back in and he'd go back into mode. So you could see that you could probably go back and make markers of when we knocked him out of his mode. Like, he came in with a mindset. This is what I'm coming in. This is what I'm going to do. I love making haters my friends, and they're going to think this is great once they get to the conversation. And that's even in the dialogue he was using towards the end. And that's why I said, look, some people might not have had their worries remedied, mate. But at the very least, we had a respectful discussion, But anyway.
Right. And I'm going to get to you, Shay, real quick. I just did want to say for anybody that's in here that doesn't know any of the gentlemen that has came up into the speaker spot, this is an extended community that OV and I have been in and listening to. They are also known as Crypto Underground. We tune into them on Fridays, and when they get a chance, they come in on Wednesdays. We have intermingled our communities, and we find a great wealth going back and forth. It's not a one-way street. They value Oculus in my thoughts and what we say and the conversations that we bring also. So some of the new faces that you see pop in here on Wednesdays do come from Crypto Underground. And these gentlemen are some of, there is plenty more of the men and women in the Crypto Underground core group.
Yes, there is. Yes,
Hey.
We all, I'll speak for everybody. We all really appreciate you shouting us out. We shout you guys out. It's not gonna stop. I'm actually gonna hop off real quick, but after saying I appreciate that, I also just wanted to tap into what Dingo was saying too. With what I noticed was, what kept pissing me off with that guy from the start, even before everything, was him calling. Like, he kept using the word critics, and so I felt the need to call him out at the end and say, because he said it one last time at the fucking end. And listen, if you're gonna sit here after all this time and still kind of use that word critics around us, critics is kind of a derogatory term in a way. It's a bit of a jab in my side for the people that were representing, Crypto Underground and that whole space, regardless. So, basically, I just let them know we're researchers. We're people that give a shit. We're not fucking critics. Critics are the people that sit there and jab you in the side and don't have shit to back it up. Dingo and a bunch of us said many times we can back it up, and we backed it up. He definitely ended up backing down at the end. And I'm just really proud of everybody. I thought that was a great Spaces chat. I just really loved seeing him back down, man. Towards the end, coming in headstrong and backing off. So thanks Thymeless for popping in. Oculus, we know you had to hold it down over here. Thanks everybody else that popped in from your community as well. We'll be back and forth. I'll be back too. I just got to go to bed. I got to wake up with my little guy in the morning. But yeah, man, hats off to you. Enjoy your night, and we'll catch you soon, all right?
Thank you, Deeks. Have a good night.
Thank you, Deeks. Thank you,
Right.
Deeks.
Bye, ladies. Bye, fam.
Hey, again, I'm going to jump in really quick. I'd love to hear Shay's wise words or questions or perspective. I love listening to that, mate. But I too have to jump off. I've got a wife that's a couple of weeks away from having a baby.
Yeah, that baby's coming.
Yeah, I've given up too much time tonight, and she's given me the stare. So I want to wake up tomorrow morning and still be breathing.
Completely understand.
I got you, Dingo. I got you.
But I just wanted to say, firstly, too, just since you mentioned it, Thymeless, congratulations to Oculus and Thymeless, the newest core members to Crypto Underground. We're so blessed and lucky to have you girls on board, and thank you for accepting and enriching and making us even greater. So, yeah, you humble us with your acceptance of the offer, and we look forward to what we can build together with you girls. So. Keep rocking it.
Thank you so much, Dingo. We appreciate you.
Yeah, all good, girls. You have a good night, eh? Later, guys. Wolfie, Lord, Chris, Cap. You guys have a good one. Gordy, Shay, and everybody
Deeks,
else.
Yeah, Deeks. Yeah, don't forget about me.
Peace, Dingo. Love you, buddy.
I was about to text you, bro. So. All right, yeah. All right, Bryce. Later, brother.
See you guys.
Bye. All right, Shay, your hand has been up. You got a strong arm right now. And then Wolf had his hand up also.
Yeah, I stay with it. I stay with the strong arm. It's so I didn't know y'all did this every Wednesday, but I'm gonna start tuning in because, like I said, I'm new to the CU, but the Fridays have been treating me right. So hopefully the Wednesdays too. I told my wife I was jumping. I was like, hey man, I got a crypto meeting at 8:00, And she's like, all right, cool. And then at 9, she was like, how much longer? I was like, 30 minutes. And here we are 3 hours later. But
yes, it goes on and on. But yes, our Wednesdays evenings is when we go live, and it's normally 9 p.m. Eastern, or not normally. It is 9 p.m. Eastern time.
All right. I can do 9 p.m. Eastern. But I think we can all agree that Dingo's openings every Friday, it doesn't even matter what day it is. Dingo's openings are just phenomenal. He's like, real quick, don't really care who you are, but our talent roster is this, and we have 30 core members. That's intimidating in itself, right there. Like, this guy, there's no way he knew he was jumping into a pool of, I would say the top 1% of crypto, like the intelligence level, the research level. And I had like a preconceived notion because I jumped in the Discord space when y'all was hashing things out and just listened in. So I had a preconceived notion, but I'm an analytical guy, so I like to listen in. I'm gonna make up my own mind. I like to think I can be swayed. Until question number 2 by Thymeless, and it was like, you ask about Dr. So-and-so and how you couldn't find him no more.
Yep. It was the original co-founder disappeared last July.
And this dude, like,
fake ass name.
Yeah, I got it. It might be a fake ass name. It might be. I could get behind that. But this dude didn't respond with, "Oh, we didn't see eye to eye," blah blah blah. He said, almost. Hold on, I wrote the shit down, so I wanted to quote him because I texted Wheels and was like, "Hey, bro, is this crossing the line?" Because Dingo, right? Dingo was like, "Don't be disrespectful." And Dingo is the silver tongue of the CU. So I was like, all right, I don't want to offend the whole CU, especially him, you know what I'm saying? But he said, Wills was like, yeah, that's crossing the line. But I said, the guy said, almost the whole, all the employees, all the people left. And so I was like, if the whole team left, what's that say about the leadership? And I'm sitting there like,
oh yeah, that's a trouble question.
Much.
Yo,
bro,
yeah.
like that is.
He said everybody but dude, it was left.
Yeah, it was 30 people, and he was like, "Yeah, everybody left but me." All right, so you had 29 problems, or they all had one. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z.
Yeah, but you know what? That's actually, Shay, that's actually a good question, but that's one that will actually get you in trouble. It's actually an honest question, but people are not going to like that because they're going to take it as an attack.
Yeah, I understand. And
it's a legit question, though. It's a legit question, for real.
Yeah, and Oculus, like I said, I don't know you. I don't even know Thymeless, but we have a little common background. We both in the Army. And so from my perspective, I thought it was legitimate, and I could see why it's offensive. I definitely could. That's why I texted Wheels off to the side and was like, hey, bro, is this, like, should I not ask this? Because my hand was already up, strong arm, ready to go. And he's like, yeah, don't do that one. And I was like, that's fine. But at the end of the day, as soon as he said that, my whole vulnerability of being able to be swayed was gone. Like, that shit was not happening. And then Brass with his knowledge, and then Wolf come out of nowhere. Like, he isn't in the Discord like he was when I first got there. So I forgot, and I get people confused. And I was just mind blown, and I'm like, dude, they throwing this guy the fucking business, and he was not having it. But
yes,
I was like,
Wolf
man, it's the leadership. It comes down to leadership, man.
With me, and I absolutely adore Wolf. I really, truly adore Wolf. And from reaching out, saying, hey, come talk in here about your security class and everything. Everybody was doing their research, but one person that I can pinpoint that was right there with me while digging through was Wolf. And yeah, and that's one I cannot wait to go back and listen to. I just really, that's why I told Deeks no more Wednesday night schedules for these things, so that Oculus and I can keep our schedules, but I can participate in things like that, because that is right up my alley. And I do feel like it's beneficial for new investors and old investors alike, because some people didn't truly know, or still don't truly know, what a short KYC was supposed to be.
Absolutely. And I tell Wills this fucking on the daily. The CU is insane. And what I learned, and it's not even just the CU, it's all Twitter space, but specifically the CU Discord, like the knowledge and the environment and how conducive it is to learning. Like the shit is crazy, because most places you show up and you're uninformed, they treat you like some type of noob, and you're afraid to ask questions and you're afraid to speak your mind. But not there, not here. Like I learned so much tonight just between Brass and damn, what's his name, Lord or the Wolf, yeah. And it's crazy, like, man. But that dude, he fucked up. He was like, yeah, my whole team left. All right, it ain't them, bro. That shit's you. Like, and then his answers after that shit was, he couldn't redeem himself in my eyes.
After listening from 8 o'clock to like 9:24 Eastern time, because I listened for that much, I was like, oh yeah, this kind of sounds like what I hear when I'm in meetings. It's just a lot of, you know what it is? We call that fluff. It's a lot of fluff talk.
Fluff for sure. Yeah.
It was definitely a lot of fluff. And you know what? I will commend him on his fluff abilities. But at the end of the day, I mean, I will give him this for being honest, because from what he discussed, they don't really do anything special for me. They don't. Because like I said earlier, he already said, what are you going to do with somebody's address or their identity? What, post it on freaking Facebook or Instagram and like have people talk about it for 2 or 3 days and that's it? Because these people aren't going to do anything. So if I'm looking for them for some kind of legitimacy, then I know what I get. So I can't really be mad at them for me investing in something they said was A-okay. Well, you have to, because he said too much tonight, and I kind of knew already what they were about. So it's like, I understand the annoyance that they've been saying this product and this project is good and they've been rugged, but I'm looking at what I'm dealing with here. For me, I'm seeing what I'm dealing with here. So if I actually just hop into stuff and thinking I'm going to be in this project for years to come, just from what I'm dealing with, then I can't, like I said, the investor is going to have to decide who they listen to in these aspects. Some people like Certec for certain reasons, but, some people say, well, Certec had projects that rug, but those people don't understand that, just like you were saying last week, Thymeless, Certec isn't privy to every contract in that project. They actually audit what they send them, and people don't know that. So, and then you told me that they don't actually do that. They just do like a KYC, which is know your customer. So it's like, okay, just like if I told all of you guys where I live right now and what I do for a living, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to come see me? What are you going to do with it?
We're gonna have a drink. What are you talking about?
That's right. I mean, that's all you can do, because there's no skeletons in my closet. I mean, I live a pretty boring and fucking life, but if you find the information of somebody who has hacked you, what are you going to do with it?
I'm a fan of the Batman philosophy, just vigilante, like just let's get, like, we just need a Batman in the crypto space to do some shit for us.
Yo, these guys were dancing around so many questions. I mean, like, the shortest answer I was looking for, like, yo, how many rugs? And like, it was just the biggest dance round. Like, gotta ask them again, like, yo, give me a number. And it's like, as soon as Thymeless was talking and I seen him dance, and I could feel that she wanted to go for a little back and forth, but just wanted to keep the talk going, which was much respected. But man, Thymeless could have dummied this guy the whole fucking time. But he starts shaking in his boots and this and that. Like, this guy's a complete joke, dude.
True.
Yeah, you ain't
But
lying. Yeah.
the one thing I did want to make clear for everybody is Assure is not guaranteeing a good project. So the reason why I have a problem with them is the reason why they were supposed to be important with their KYC was that they had the team members, founders, and whoever decided to KYC through them, they would have their data and their information. So if there was a rug or an exploit or something of that nature, the investor could go back and get these reports and get assistance in filing them in the proper place and region. It's late, so in the proper area of the world. So if this was a French dev, being able to go and following the proper paperwork and doing the plan of action over there. Or if it was the US, being able to go through either the IRS, investigative, FBI, what have you. The thing is everybody, all these projects kept rugging and they weren't holding up that simple thing. And that is why I asked them, in your statement, you said we are learning what to do with the investor and how we're supposed to move. And then he wanted to fluff up, oh, the real clients of ours are the investors. No, they're not. The investors don't pay you anything, and you don't give the investors a product. You are in business with these projects, and you're not watching the project and what's happening. He even said, we do not monitor them. Well, if you are going to put your name attached to any project, you should be able, even good, bad, or indifferent, if something were to happen, you need to be able to pull up your records and then make it available. You should not have to wait for somebody who just gets rugged to go to you like, oh man, I got rugged and da da da. Oh, now fill out this form. No, motherfucker, if this project that you KYC'd, then rugs, you should automatically set your in-house team to set up this investigative report every time. It should be like clockwork. If they rug, you get wind, you start your investigative report. So he's hiding behind the different guises. So a lot of people have different misconceptions of what they were supposed to do, but that is the baseline of what Assured DeFi was supposed to do.
Absolutely. What did he say? There was 300 projects they verified and 5 had actual reports. Get the fuck out of here. That's 6%.
Well, you know what?
Right.
When he started talking, he was like, I got rugged for 6 figures. And I was like, oh. So, I actually work with real audit companies, like KPMG, all the big ones. I work with the big 4. So just listening to him talk, I'm like, oh, okay. So this is some personal thing for you. Because, do you have any experience in this at all? Or this is something that you did because you got screwed in crypto?
He wants a vendetta. Yeah.
Right. So you know what? That's what I'm saying. Like, he told you everything about him tonight. So that's why I was listening to him. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, right. I'm still going to keep my same energy like I kept before. When Thomas has been talking about these dudes for since freaking February.
I hate them.
She has. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm looking at this. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at actually what I do as my career, because this right here, what I'm doing right now is my love. I don't get paid for this. Looking at my career. I work with audit companies and I see what they do when they audit corporations. They're not doing this because they don't have the means to. So, whatever they do, like I said, it's like, I'm not really too bothered by them because the investor is going to have to, like I said, do their deeper research. And these are not people that I would ever talk about a project that they freaking, done. Just for me. From what I know.
Most definitely.
No, never. They would never be a source for me. Anybody else that's no shade to you because you're you and not me, but I would never use them as a source to get into a project or even discuss one on this space. Not at all.
Oh, I do use them as a source. I use them as a source of the shit that I'm not getting into.
Right. That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, but the new people, the average, people are coming into this space just like myself. We don't know that, and there's nothing out there, because that's what makes crypto so scary. Is like everyone thinks your money can just be stolen, and it can. But when you see like, hey, these people have been KYC'd, these people have been KYC'd by Assure, it makes you feel good until the project that you're in has been KYC assured and you lose.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is the back end of that was it's not saying that you can't get rugged. I never had the disillusion that Assure DeFi would create a safer environment. What it was illustrating to me is that there was some kind of recourse. If you wanted to take it, some people take the rugs on the chin and said, hey, I should have probably did more research, or I should have done that. But what it was supposed to do is assure you that you would have the backbone and to be able to go further with a rug or something happening, liquidity being taken, X, Y, and Z. And while they kept talking about a standard, they kept talking about their 5 check marks. The issue is it all sounds good. I can talk my weight, man. I'm a talker, and I can talk, and I can make somebody seem like that empty glass of water right there is the most refreshing glass in the world, because I can talk. And that's what he was doing. He was doing a lot of talking, and there was not a lot of actions backing up to what he's doing. Now, there might be a slight switch. Am I supporting Assure and going to look at them as a standard? No. But he did get a world-renowned law firm. They wanted to say top 30, but upon research, it's a top 100. Still good, but it's a top 100. And they are based around the world. So, and then you've also brought on an audit company, a code audit company, and you brought in security. So now what you do from this pivot point is you put those together and you put your money where your motherfucking mouth is, and you do what the hell you're going to say you're going to do. There's plenty of people that went out there and got rugged and brought it up to them, and he was blowing a bunch of air. Now you go and you post this report and you tag that company, you hashtag that company, quote project, and you allow these people those resources, then it is up to them. But you don't just get to pigeonhole them and just say, guess what? We weren't monitoring it. Now you got to tell us. And this little form they want you to do is at the bottom of their website. You don't even see. So when you're flustered and you've just lost a lot of money, I don't know how detail oriented you're going to be when you're flustered and that is your first rug and you put way too much money that you didn't feel like, or you put too much in your investment and you lost it, when the number one key of investing is don't put in more than you're willing to lose. And I know that's easier said than done, but at the end of the day, us as investors, we owe ourselves our own respect within our own portfolio to learn how to do this research and checks and balances and finding groups around you that you truly trust. You landed in a really nice soft place, Shay, with Crypto Underground. I feel like our community that has been following us and we've been building has found a very amazing place as well. We have a lot of information between a lot of people, and nobody just wants the starlight. We all want to be able to share it. And instead of saying, oh, now you need to pay for it, and now it's on a Patreon, now you need a membership, you need this. I don't think that that's the way you share information. And I think exposing some of these things within that AMA will show other people some of the things to look for. And I plan on trying to do like 5-minute or less videos or a write-up on how you do how you start your research when you see a project that you're looking for and what you need to do. And then you got Wolf up there for security. You have OB that finds all the news and the things. So as a big inner working community, there is so much information out here. You just got to be willing to want to sit down and take it and digest it and not be afraid to ask questions.
Most definitely. Definitely. I'm just listening and just researching what you were talking about, Timeless. I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, I think using them as your go-to is a personal decision. Um, I think that Crypto Underground Space was very informative from what I heard, for the first hour and 24 minutes. So at the end of the day, we have people that are willing to put themselves and their reputation on the line to ask the hard questions to people, like Assured or other people, because I'm sure if anybody else wanted to come up and talk about their project, you're willing to see you and us are willing to just put ourselves in line and ask questions that may not be popular. So, I mean, take that for something, because, this is something that we're doing because we love it and we care about the crypto space and we're trying to protect it. So, good jobs on the space tonight, Wolf and Deeks and everybody else from CU, Lord Brass, all you guys. That's commendable, because looking at what auto companies do, just because I'm familiar with it, I know that it's not something that's simple and it takes a lot of work. So, I was always skeptical of these projects that just came out and they've already said, yeah, they're great. I mean, audits have
Gold
taken a long
standard.
time. Yeah, audits have taken months. It's not something that you do like overnight. You have to really, really do your research. So, as I said, for the investor, because I know some people are really big on Assure. I've seen their comments. I've seen some of the projects that they've looked into, and I've seen some of the comments from investors, and they're very happy with them. So you're always gonna have that investor that's gonna believe in people because they want to believe in them, not because they realize that what they're doing is great. It's just because if you're investing in a project, you want somebody to say it's a great investment, even though it's not. So that's why I always take a lot of this stuff with a grain of salt.
Oh, definitely. Wolf, did you still have something to say?
Shit, y'all, man, that's fucking late. Y'all were awesome. Yeah, I started. I think I'll start there. Everybody, I mean, when in investing, right? I mean, it's all a risk. So we all have to weigh our own risk, and like Oculus was saying, if someone chooses to still, if to use Assure for their investing purposes, that's on them. That's what they're comfortable with. That's what they're going to go with. It's a risk either way. And as the investor, sure, we do have to weigh our own risk, like I said. And like many of us have already said, it's just something that we have to weigh on our shoulders. And that's just the risk of investing. But also too, my wife was helping me do, because we were on vacation when I was doing all this research. So after the kids went to sleep, she was helping me out tackle this shit. I gave her the guidelines. We went side by side on each other's computers, going through all those 295 NFTs together, trying to gather all the information, put them into categories of exploits, rugs, hacks, all that shit. So that way we can get a true number. And then looking at some other things. But my wife respects the shit out of you ladies, because I mention you guys like 100 times a day, I swear. Same with CU, because I'm thankful I'm able to be full-time crypto, so I'm able to talk about it 24/7. But like I bring you guys up so much, and she may be following you guys on Twitter, and you might not even know it, because she's anonymous too, and I don't want anybody to know who the fuck she is. So. but for anonymity, but it's just cool, that we all can together and kind of just vibe and get to talk about stuff. And because this is what we're passionate about, we're the ones out here educating people, getting people together to talk about whatever it is, willing to put ourselves out there. And realistically, sure, I might have a shit ton of followers, but I don't really give a shit about that, because that's not what it's about. It's about educating everybody else in this space. And I'm thankful to have the same mindset as you ladies as well, because that's what we're here to do. Not everybody's fortunate enough to, do what we do. But yeah.
Definitely. And I just want to say thank you so much, Wolf. And I really, really enjoyed doing research side by side with you. And I knew, and that's why I didn't try to over inundate you, because I knew you were on and you guys super deserved that vacation. So, yeah, I really respect all of you. I know Oculus does too. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what keeps coming in the future, because this is still the Wild West, right? We still have all different types of projects. We have projects that will launch that will be a new phase that we haven't heard of before. And we'll have some of the old ones that we thought have died that will show back up again. And we are all grateful and fortunate enough to have a place twice a week, once on Wednesdays, once on Fridays, to be able to have people come up and ask questions or bring attention to something that they've seen in the crypto space, if it's a token, a coin, anything. Because crypto is not just that. It's a whole lifestyle. It's a whole ecosystem of itself, and it branches out in so many different directions. And we're fortunate enough, me and OV might not be gurus on NFTs, but we have a good group behind us that knows NFTs. And man, I could go on and on, but I won't, because I know that we are starting to get pretty late here, and we did have some people request to come up. But I do want to tell you guys that you guys, as much as you guys give us our flowers, I give you guys yours too. You guys are definitely gems in this space too. And I think with such a big team, we can make major changes, and we will be the drop in the water that those rings keep going further and further out and touch more and more people in a way of making them feel more comfortable and safe in a place to be able to discuss things.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate that. We all feel the same way over here. It's just funny to me tonight a bit. Like, they almost seem to me like the type that's almost just like fake it till you make it. Like, they're the gold standard, this and this. Like, we all just realized real quick, like, as soon as they heard half our questions, they thought, like, oh shit, how the fuck they know that? Like, y'all motherfuckers ain't there yet. You got to work towards getting there, Then they're apologizing halfway through. But as far as the CU, timeless, all this shit goes, it's like, as simple as real recognize real. That's why when we're in these conversations, it's like sharks smelling blood in the water. Like, we can just smell the bullshit, and like we're all laughing on the side, and we're just letting the interview go along just for interview purposes, but we can all smell the bullshit. That's why I love y'all.
Bro, can you get a job, please?
Absolutely.
You're such a fraud. Get a job, please.
Who are you?
Ratio, I own.
Oh, it doesn't matter who he is. He's fucking gone. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, like,
don't come here acting like a jackass. You're fucking gone. Bye. Get the fuck out of here.
And don't be mad that people have made changes in their lives that they can live without having a job. I'm retired at 40. Are you mad?
It's all about. I mean, shit. I mean, I'm humble, but I am retired. I retired at 28 from crypto but it's about, some people just make excuses, timeless. Unfortunately,
they do, and people don't know what certain people have went through it and whatever struggles that they have. I mean, I can say I'm a disabled veteran and retired, and you're down here just trying to jump into people's Twitter space and just talking a bunch of shit. So, but we did definitely I'm trying to remember. Gabe came up. I was trying to determine if it was Gabe or the NFT.
The NFT was up before me.
Okay. Go ahead, and then we're probably going to knock this down fairly quickly. We have been live here for a while, but I wanted to get everybody. We wanted to get everybody's questions that had already raised their hand and requested to speak. Go ahead.
I actually came for a little backup. I wish that guy would have stayed because I wanted to lay into him. There were people saying that same stuff back when Bitcoin was $400 and now it's 40K, and they're still sitting there right where they were years ago, talking their smack. It's the sad part. People come into Twitter spaces like this, and I've seen $10,000, $25,000 deals made live right in the Twitter space, right there. NFTs being minted, partnerships being made. But people waste their time and life trolling. If only he knew how much money he could make taking this stuff serious. I mean, if there's pictures of rocks selling for 100K, if there's people who put pocket change into Bitcoin 5-10 years ago and retired, I could understand Jimmy coming up and saying this stuff 6 years ago when Bitcoin wasn't so hot, right? But like now, it's kind of, I don't know, it's a little embarrassing. It feels like the boomers that were like, oh, you're making a website? You're going to make money on a website? Why don't you go into the coal mines? And it's like, I get you, Grandpa. It's not that I don't get where you're coming from. It's just that times are changing and people and the economy has changed and there's new opportunities around.
Right. And the change is also this. We've been exposed now to crypto, but also the pandemic has showed us that people can work from home, they can do things on their own, and then people had the opportunity to be home, and then they started, their friends, commercials, sports arenas started showing commercials or having banners for crypto. People started looking into it. This is now the beginning stages of how people felt when the stock exchange happened, and that changed lives. This is slightly different. It's the same beast, but it's different, and it's in our day and age. We now can take control of our own lives and learn how to invest and become financially stable. I've always told people, this isn't just about me. I'm here now ready to change my family tree with generational wealth, and I want to teach my kids to do the same.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for coming up. And we're here every Wednesday at 9 p.m.
Hello.
Eastern. So hold on, Wes. We had Gabe first that had requested and raised his
Just
hand.
going off of what Jimmy said, I just wanted to send a ratio your guys' way and to leave the basement and to get a job.
Go fuck yourself, dumbass.
The basement. I own a whole farm and a house with teenagers going to college, and guess what is being funded by? Crypto. I just came back from Mexico for 6 weeks off of crypto.
How are they going to ratio us with 200 followers?
Thank you. Go ahead, Gabe. Go ahead.
I'm surprised LV ain't saying shit. I love it.
I'm over here blocking and removing because you know what? I ain't got time for that shit.
Right. And then I'm gonna cross.
I don't have time for your
later.
I don't have time for your immature dude bro fucking talk. So I just don't say shit a lot of times. But anyway, go ahead, Thomas. I got you.
Yeah, no, I just want that list later. Gabe, go ahead.
Yeah. So I guess I got into the room kind of late, so I didn't really know what the whole topic was. So I was just kind of coming up just to ask, were you guys talking about like certain projects that are newer to the crypto space that you guys were like talking about could possibly be like good investments?
So what we do here on Wednesday is it's an open dialogue conversation. Oculus and I do not put a full on, this is what we're talking about here, and here. We'll have some points, some news, some coins, what have you from the whole week. And then we allow the people that want to speak to come up and request the mic. And then they can ask about certain projects, how we feel about it. It's open for anything. So we put no limits on. It's not, we don't say, oh, we're not talking about nodes or we're not talking about NFTs. Anything is open in our space to talk about.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Could I tell you about a project that I'm involved with that you guys might want to look into?
Yes, just don't try to oversell it. If you want to drop it, and then because I'm a big, huge one on research, if you drop it, I can write it down and I will definitely look at it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So the company that I work for is called Brew Labs. What we are is we're an auditing and then smart contract engineering company. So we actually build smart contracts for people out here in the crypto space. We also build like NFT contracts, NFT platforms, launch pads, pretty much everything you could think of. So as far as like pertaining to blockchain, and we also build on multi-chain networks. So Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, Phantom, BSC, and our token is actually on the BSC network. And the thing that kind of makes us different from a lot of other tokens that are actually in the crypto space is since we're an actual company, right? So we're a for-profit business, but what we do with the profits that we actually generate inside of our ecosystem, we actually buy back our own token supply each day with it, which then initiates a 4% BUSD reflections to our holders. And one of the cool things is that we've created a couple different utility that the crypto space utilizes. So, for instance, we have like an airdrop tool. We have staking and farming platforms where we collect micro fees off of each one of these utilities. And then we also have like a constructor tool, which is like basically for creating LP for like when you're farming. Instead of going to Pancake Swap, where you would pay like that 10% tax on your contract, we actually have a constructor tool where you can whitelist it and then bypass those tokenomics. So therefore, you're basically making tax-free LP, which allows you to provide more liquidity to an actual project. And so obviously utilizing that tool comes at a fee. It's a 1% fee in to construct and 1% fee to deconstruct. And then on top of that, we also have a liquidity freezer or locker is what we call it. And we have team lockers as well that come with that. Right now it's on the BSC network, but we're branching it over to Ethereum and all the other networks. Our staking platform is both BSC and Ethereum. So it's like one of these tokens that's out here that's actually a little bit different than a lot of other ones because technically like us as a business and being successful as a business, we're able to actually run without investors. Now, the benefit of having an investor is basically what as they buy and they sell our token, right? Obviously, there's this buyback tax, and we've created this treasury contract that collects all this tax plus all of our micro fees inside of our ecosystem. And like I said, each day we buy back our own token supply, and then this buyback that we actually have stays inside of that contract, right? And what it does is it creates a floor price now for our actual ecosystem. So each day, we continue to buy back our own token supply. So each day we become more and more valuable. Eventually, once we've bought back so much of our token supply, we'll no longer be susceptible to what you would call like whale manipulation, where one person can actually enter the ecosystem and then buy up a large portion to where they can control the actual price of our token. So I just wanted you guys to digest that for a second. And then,
well, why don't you do this? Why don't you hit me up offline? Because that is a whole lot. And that was a real quick.
Yeah, and I heard about this word for reflections before. So, just from that, I'm not, I'm pretty up forward in front. I'm not really interested. But yeah, if anybody else is, yeah, hit up Thymeless.
Yeah, you can definitely hit me up and we can talk. If nothing else, can have a further conversation. But yeah, I'm all about hearing about different projects, not saying that I will endorse it or support it or invest in it. But that was a whole lot of moving parts real quick, and it's getting super late, but I am interested in hearing a little bit more about it.
Sounds good. I'll shoot you a follow.
Good stuff. All right, so it is getting late, and OV is 2 hours ahead of where I'm at. So I'm going to give my little final and pass it off to OV, and then she can say her piece and then end this off beautifully. So I do want to tell you all that I appreciate each and every one of you guys who tune in every week, or the new people who's popped in. I appreciate what you bring to our space, because without you guys coming up and talking with us and asking questions and having a conversation, we wouldn't be here. We would just be talking to ourselves. We do have a Telegram group that has bots and things available, and we are always available throughout the week. We super appreciate you, and I hope you guys keep tuning in and you spread the word for your friends, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, just going to piggyback off of Thomas. Thank you guys for joining us. I love when you guys come in and just add your 2 cents. And we hope to see you guys next week, Wednesday. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Good night. Or good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning,
Good
my time.
night.